Oh. Oh, we died? Oh shit. What's up, Knight? How you doing, dude? I hope nobody was waiting for me this morning, bro. Okay, low-key, I kind of wanted to stream in the morning again. But like, I really didn't want people to get into a habit of seeing me in the morning. I've actually been up for a long time. I've just been working. But I did not want people to make a habit of like, oh, this guy's a morning streamer now. Like, nah. I stream whenever the fuck I feel like. I'm technically officially on vacation. At the end of this week. So you likely not even seeing me. I need people to not believe that I'm just gonna be like live early like this, man. I could have streamed, but I was like, nah. No more EU friendly streams? Brother, I'm a fat fucking American. How am I supposed to be friendly to the EUs, man? Come on, be real. I'm just your average American fat ass, bro. Come on. Although, to be fair, I am actually just a Canadian, though. I love repping America, because that's where I live, but I am a Canadian boy. I don't know, man. My anime backstory is a little complicated. I have my affiliation all over the place. What's up, Eli? How you doing, dude? How you been? What the fuck is this, man? This homie's feeling himself. What the fuck? That's crazy. Alright, I'll do some... I'm just doing some NPCs.
Let's just get this temporary alliance.
Are you gonna go peep Game Awards on stream tonight? I'm not streaming long enough for it to be on tonight, I think. But I'll probably still watch it on the side. I mean, let's be honest, right? We're watching it as like a formality, you know? It's like you're watching it for the show. You're not watching it to find out who wins, because yeah, you know it's gonna be a big day for E33. They're fucking sweeping everything, you know? I don't think anybody is deluded enough to come into this, right? Unless, you know, it's also a possibility that everything is rigged and they're like, we're actually bringing back Concord, and Concord is our game of the year for being so revolutionary. You know, they might pull some bullshit like that, in which case the Game Awards will lose all credibility and Jeff is gonna have to, you know, fucking find a new hustle. So I don't think that'll happen. I think anybody with any sense is going to think E33 is sweeping everything this year, with a couple of things being taken away by Silksong. I think that's a very reasonable expectation of the turnouts, right? Enjoying the EU-friendly stream. Shit, man. How many of you guys are from the EU, bro? I can't do this.
Don't put all your faith in me.
What's up, Flash? See you with the first? What you been up to lately? What you been playing? It's the American propaganda at its finest. Oh no, bro. I feel like I shit on America more than I rep it. Time to move to EU? Okay, you know what's really crazy now that I'm thinking about it? I've been around different places in the world. And I think Europe and Africa are the only two continents I haven't been to. I actually, for as much as I talk to people from Europe and people who's been to Europe, I've never actually been to Europe. Zio ran, obviously. Holy shit, man. Bro, I was expecting you to say like a different game, like oh, I touch grass. Oh, I've been playing CZN, you know? What have you been playing recently, bro? Oh, Zio ran. Shit, man, you know me. Love me some Zio ran. Like, damn, bro. It's so fucking hot randomly all of a sudden. This is like the California experience, man. I've been cold all day. Now I'm like, it's just way too hot. I can't do this. I can't do this. It's too fucking hot. It's California, man. This is what happens when you live in a desert. Alright, what do I want to play today? I'm second to have to ban this. I can play some, oh, double reviver ban, respect. Maybe I'll play some cigarette today. It goes boss first, okay, that's fair. I'll take Renak. Maybe I'll pick cigarette too. Yeah, I'll pick cigarette too. She's so good. I think she's, like, decent. I don't think she's, like, giga super omega powerful, but she is very fun. Holy fuck. Bro, am I against Batman, man? What is this? The Dark Knight of Gotham? He's just slamming every knight in existence. Jesus. Guys, is it too crazy to say? I don't even want to pick this anymore. Give me the fucking Ahmed, man. Like, I want to play Ahmed now. Every time I see this shit, I just want to play Ahmed. Oh, man. Had this earlier. Alright, I'll watch that later. Holy shit, bro. I just want to play... I see this, I'm like, I want to play Ahmed now. I don't want to fight these two, bro. What are we doing? Oh, dear God. Nurse. Alright, you know what? I give up. You got me. I'll play Ahmed. I'll play Ahmed. I'll stop acting up. I'll play some Ahmed like a regular human being. Sorry. Sorry I tried. Oh, God. Call me Ram, bro, because Am is my wife at this point. I'm fucking married to this bitch. I got no escape. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, take your poly.
You do not understand.
Mm-hmm. I have a question, I have an answer. We're a team. What's up? What's up, Ryan Hall? Ahmed, do I ban Polly? Depends. APOC. Let me think. Like, here you can ban Polly, and you can play a pipeline that relies on, you kind of have two ways about it. You can ban Empyrean and play some carries that don't rely on the CR, or you can ban Polly and play a carry that relies on the CR. So, like here, what would be fun? I have resistance without soul, so okay, it's fucking too late. Maybe he won't realize it's resistance and ban my judge anyway. This is kind of important. If his APOC has more HP than this, I just lose. This is not a bad pick. Valk versus his favorite playstyle. I wish, man. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's pretty annoying, actually. He bans my judge anyway, okay. So this is kind of a build check.
Aren't we? I can take you in my sleep. Let my guard down. Come on.
Oh, that's a fast Empyrean. This kind of... Wait, yeah, this is bad. I think I lose here, then. Fast Empyrean generally means the APOC is tanky enough, and if the APOC's tanky enough, I can't kill.
Let my guard down.
What cannot be avoided must be overcome. Take my power. If we must fight, the power of the eternal cycle will revitalize the fallen.
Don't blame me if you get hurt.
Yeah, I think we lose here.
Show me what you've got.
Yeah, that was actually pretty bad. Yeah, I think I miss lethal on APOC here, and then we lose go next. That's my read. If he has actually a fast Empyrean, this is very difficult. Never mind. GG. He's too fast. He's too fast. So let me explain what happened, right, guys? So basically, One way to play anti-cleave is to run a high speed Empyrean, where if they hit you a lot, you cut and you put up defense buff for your team, right? And the big interaction here is if your Empyrean is fast, that means you have a lot of speed and low HP. And if you have low HP, then I can't kill your APOC Ravi, right? Like, your APOC Ravi is supposed to have very high HP. But in his case, I think the APOC Ravi was also on speed, so it was too fast. It didn't have enough HP to actually just survive the raw damage.
Forgetting something?
In the right tuning, I just miss lethal, and we die. Damn, bro. We got bots in here, too? Goodbye.
Ballsy, aren't we?
Yeah, what have you boys been up to? Also, thank you for the hydrate. Wait, hold on. I hydrate before I chapstick. What's up, Zerkerix? Yeah, I think theme of the day is I try playing fun things, and then they pick Empyrean plus Knights, and I go, oh man, looks like I gotta play Ahmed. I think that's how it goes every time now. I got 3-star Garen today in TFT. Yeah, 3x4s aren't that good this set. I think 3x4s are kind of a standard closer for most conditions. You actually close out a win in TFT right now playing a lot of 3x5s. And if conditions permit, you actually really want to play some 3x7s, depending on the quality of the lobby. But then again, like, once you climb up higher ranks, you start figuring that shit out. What's up, Raul? Oh, fuck, I'm first pick. I'm basically down a pre-ban at this point, but I take boss here.
Let's bet on who's faster, yeah?
Come on, impress me.
Can you show Millum? Yeah, sure.
Hear my voice.
Millum. There you go. I'm gonna start an ARPG called No Rest for the Wicked. I think I heard that one in passing. 1, 2. There's a problem. I could play Ahmed here, but he would Zeo me. So I need to look for a pretty good out against it. So let's go for this, I think. That's probably fine. I'm just playing so much Ahmed, bro.
Have faith in
Like, oh my god, like, I try not to play Ahmed a lot. That's just the pipeline. That's the life of an Ahmed player. Try not to play Ahmed, lose, end up playing Ahmed a lot. What's up, Joe?
You dare defy
Zeo. Okay, so he has to ban boss.
Emperor?
That's fine. So now he needs to draft Zeo combos.
Scoot out of here.
Let me think. So he bans boss. Okay, what if I go Solly to block this? 1, 2, 3, 4. I need one more piece of the... I need another piece of the puzzle. So he bans this. Boss, we're chillin'. Yeah, this is okay. I guess... Okay, if he does this, S3... This is so fucking weird. If he bans... Shit. Let's try this. Let's try this. I don't think this is good. What tea do we have today? I still just... I don't think I have fresh tea today. I probably dump out my cup from yesterday and make a fresh batch. Remind me after this game, yeah? Freerun? I think Freerun might have been okay. I don't like Freerun into, like, Raw Empyrean, though.
I'm with you.
My man gets some good sleep and plays Ahmed. He has to be sleep deprived to play new comps. No, I challenge you this, okay? check everything I was playing during that time. I did not have to play against Empyrean. Empyrean is the thing that makes this difficult. Spirit Eye. Do I actually care about Green Celine? He's banning Boss here, right? Yeah, he has to ban Boss. He's, like, committed to the strategy.
I'll show you what the true vessel is capable of.
Yeah, so now he's in a really bad spot.
Be afraid.
He burns this.
Fear.
He needs to push back the Ahmed.
Pay attention, or you might.
Oh, okay, I like this. I like this. So he pushes back the Greenveld, right?
You must fight.
Which makes a lot of sense.
A few
Until you realize I can just re-push the Greenveld with the Infinite Horizon.
Brace yourself.
Right, do I have the 40% push? I do have the 40% push.
Nothing to worry about now. I need some me time.
1, 2, 3, 4. I probably just stun this thing, because this is the only thing I can't reasonably kill very fast.
Shall we go?
Although, I think he's probably chillin'. All I have to do is kill the Renak, though.
Do you have nothing left to say?
Do not surrender.
Empyrean gets to go here. I kill 2. He cleanses this. It's just that left. And then Solly solos that. GG. He needs to burn. No, he needs to draft something
All
else.
this power.
Well, to be fair, right? Like,
Do it.
think about the basic, the #1 rule of playing RTA, yeah? The #1 rule of RTA is I'm first pick, I'm just gonna play top 4. This effectively disarms the Renak, right? If he bans the Green Vildred, there is still a world where I can permanently CC the Renak, I can stun lock the Renak with Solly. This gets disabled by this, and this gets disabled by this. So, the fact that he had banned this means I get the guarantee Solly pick. There was no way for him to beat me. He basically cooked himself trying to pivot into a Zeo draft without a countermeasure for Solly, right? It's Slam, Ran, Zeo. I think he needed a Slam, Ran, and something else to have a chance. That was it, man. Like, that was it, right? Like, any combination of these characters, and we kind of had him locked down. Right? All we had to do was ban last. You can push back the Vildred, but I can just double push the Vildred now, and then you're still dead. I was thinking about this. The one thing I think probably wouldn't have worked was if he banned Vildred, then the game becomes much harder for me where I needed to... Because I don't have a direct combo with these characters, right? So I have to be able to rope him with Ahmed into Solly, with greater attack buff Solly, and splash damaging him, and I have to stun every character. And Boss Arunka hopefully one-shots this, and it's just really annoying. But that was probably his best way of winning, because if I get unlucky, I can't stun lock him. Green Vildra stats? Yeah. Here. Let me go dump out my teacup from yesterday. We'll make a fresh batch, boys. Speaking of which, can I open my blinds? Is it brighter? I don't think this makes my camera any better. It is brighter, but I think it fucks up my cam. Oh well. Let me know what else, what other stats you guys want to see. I'm gonna go change out my teacup. Alright. When are you gonna work for free and make commands work on YouTube? Now I have to join Discord. I mean, the command does work, it just doesn't work as well as does on Twitch, you know? Go ahead and just join Discord. Actually, I'll just pin the fucking thing. Hold up. Where is Two's tournament for this weekend? Holy fuck. Let me open this up. If you guys have any other stats you guys want to see, let me know right now. Cool. Is Xander's sign up still open? Xander's sign up is still open. Cool. Here. Alright. Should be pinned to both chats. ML Luna stats? Here. I probably use this one more nowadays than the other one, so here, I'll show the stats for this. For the ML event, what do you think is worth picking? Just go down the tier list, pick the first thing you don't have. It's not that deep. Got my first of 2 3-star Umas. What'd you get? The Discord link in your bio isn't working. Wait. What's the Discord link in my bio? Let me double check this. Let me fact check you right here real quick. Discord link. No, it seems like it works. Seems like it works. Unless you're talking about this one. In which case, yeah, this one works as well. This one works. I don't know where people are getting this. People are saying my Discord link doesn't work. It's every time I get that and I click it and it has worked for me. So I'm not quite sure what you mean. Okay, let me show you guys like one of my favorite teas. So this is Little Golden Mandarin. It comes in like this little golden foil wrapping paper. And so inside is a dried like little green mandarin skin, and it has a lot of black tea packed in it. So what you're supposed to do is you're actually supposed to steep it like this, but because I'm really fucking lazy, what you do is you kind of just crack it and open it so that the tea gets, the hot water basically gets in it super quickly, and then you just kind of crack it open a little bit. But I think the traditional way is you're meant to like brew it and steep it with the orange peel intact, and this is supposed to be able to last you fucking hours. Fucking the uncles and the Cantonese uncles love this shit, especially like making the whole tea ceremony. You drink this shit for hours while your uncles and your dad talk about business. It's like a fucking standard experience for any Cantonese boy. So what it is the inside has black tea. And once I got the water in, I'll show you guys. This is one of my favorite processes in tea brewing. Is here. Let me make the cam a little bigger so you guys can fucking see this shit. By the way, anytime you guys need stats here right now, you can ask for it. So as you're seeing like the tea, the pigment spread, right? It's a very, very heavy black tea. And I would say it has a very rich, earthy, a little bit of sweet, and very bitter. And it combines kind of perfectly with the little mandarin peels, because the mandarin brings a bit of citrus, a little bit of tart, and it adds a lot of depth to how bitter the tea is. This is one of my absolute favorites, right? And because I live in California, now don't tell anybody this, especially don't tell Ice, okay, boys? I'm trusting you guys with my secret, okay? This is Uncle Valk's biggest secret. Because this has mandarin peels, and I live in California, technically, this is a contraband. You're not supposed to be bringing non-Californian sources of orange into the state of California. So every time I ask my mom to bring me some of this, she actually has to smuggle it across, like in her luggage when she flies in on a plane. The tea is fucking amazing, but it is a contraband. And when I was giving this to Jello and I was explaining this, right, because Jello sometimes hangs out, I was like, Cause he was leaving my house, right? And I'm giving him a bag of this shit. And I'm explaining this to him, right? He's like, yo, bro, you don't have to be so loud about it. Cause I think I explained it to him and my neighbors can hear me. And they're like, you just hear like, yeah, so my mom has to smuggle this in the country. This is the good shit, okay? Like, drink it for yourself or like do whatever, use it for yourself. But don't like, don't sell this. Don't like talk about it. Don't do nothing. And Jello's like, yo, I'm getting the fuck out of here, bro. Self-snitching. Yeah, don't tell nobody, dude. So yeah, that's probably like my top 3 favorite teas. This is like a super popular tea with the Cantonese uncles. You should come for like a Gamescom. When I get my documents in order. All right. Okay, my YouTube summary. Any stats you guys want to see? So yeah, that's a new tea we're having today. Yeah, I have this like probably on occasion because I only have 1 jar of this stuff. It's kind of hard to get into California. I think any other state would be fine, but California is very strict with this stuff.
Popular is so exhausting.
That's the good stuff. Yes, sir. Also, Jello, do you ever feel like sometimes you're playing RTA and then you just look at the other team's draft and you're just like, oh, God. Get me the fuck out, man. I'm going back to playing CZN. I'm going back to playing Ahmed. I think that's the thing. I'm just like, oh, yeah, maybe I go back to playing Ahmed. Maybe I go back to playing CZN. Effect resistance. How do I pre-ban? Okay, I have to ban scales. God damn it, man. No free run. If he goes first pick boss, this game is gonna be very lame. I'm probably gonna have to play Ahmed. Like, think about it, right? No free run, no scales. How many compositions out there can you really say can beat a boss Arunka? It's the good stuff. What can you do? Bro, the good stuff is the good stuff, man.
Oh, will I be enough?
After ML Landy, E7 power crept hard. I don't even think it was ML Landy. I think after ML Landy, the game was still relatively balanced.
Superman!
I still have 1 left, saving it for Christmas. That's what's up, bro. That's the good stuff. Like, look at this, man. How do I look at this and not just go, yup, that's an Ahmed game? Like, come on, bro. Like, what is we saying?
Please, have faith in me.
Alright. Where is it? Like, look at this shit. What am I supposed to do versus this shit? Double revive boss Arunka? Like, I guess that's an Ahmed game.
Fortune will favor us. I will not give in to
I need to not say any kick.com only words. I need to stick to the Epic 7 the twitch.tv/category/Epic 7 only words. Holy fuck. You know what? Just play Kisei. Kisei's fine.
This will
Ban the
be
Ruel.
the last moon they see.
I'm honestly so surprised the amount of times people don't ban strays. But I guess, like, if the A Ravi is HP tuned above the Empyrean,
Salty, aren't we?
I'm probably stuck.
Come on!
Oh, man.
Let's ride! You dare! Ow! Come on!
Ow.
Catch me. Trying to get away, are we? You can't outrun me.
Could take a long walk off a short pier? I mean, it's not that deep.
What cannot be avoided must be overcome.
I just think this is like playing double or triple revivers in preseason. It's just like
Pay attention or you might regret it.
Like, how do I say this? It's the same thing as if someone
The buds of hope sprout forth.
Stand in line.
is playing basketball in their community's local rec league
vitals? Check. Looking good.
And they're like, oh yeah, I got a buddy who plays Div 1.
Wakey,
Let's get him for our team.
forgetting something.
It's like, I mean, nobody's gonna stop you from doing that. You're well within your right to do that, but holy fuck is that cringe.
First come, first serve.
Daring today.
Oh, I'm about to lose all my buffs too.
Allow me to show you.
Who's the king of these streets?
No. ER. We're fine. This is like chilling. Alright, so if they, like, once again, right, if the A Ravi has more HP than, Empyrean, then we basically lose.
Cannot escape my sword. I shall present you with a chilling chaos.
Let's see.
Return to the void.
I really hope I can kill the maid here.
Aren't we?
Oh, okay, looks like we kill him here. Wow, look at that.
All yours. Let the guard down.
Let's bet on who's faster, yeah?
So yeah, you know, you could pick the combination of units that are very anti-fun. But once again, I need to emphasize this. If you really want to not die, you ban the strays. Or, you know, very simply, you make sure your A Ravi has more HP than your Empyrean, and you'll be fine. How's A Ravi played now? The same she always has. Counter set or Destro? The same she always has. I don't know how to quantify that for you. If you were previously a Destruction set A Ravi player, you would still be a Destruction set A Ravi player. If you were not a Destruction set A Ravi player like Jello and you were a counter set A Ravi player, you would still be playing a counter set. She works differently, you play her differently now, but she's built exactly the same way, as she always has been. Did I miss Arya stats? Yeah, here, let me get you, I got you. Yeah, any other build questions? Yeah, whenever somebody goes Illanov plus whatever, like, I have to stop playing the fun characters. I'm just playing Amid. Like, I'm not trying to do this shit into Empyrean boss, man. Like, that's just not fun. Gonna go for a nap, stay lurking, gotta wake up at 1 AM for Game Awards. Shit, G. You get it, man. Fast? Yeah, I mean, I play a lot of speed. You probably don't have to be anywhere nearly as fast. You can just be like 30k HP. Like, do keep in mind, I am a speed player. Armin rerun when? What do you mean like, do you mean Ahmed? Just, you know, we get like choose your own banner for the limited units like twice a year, right? So probably just twice a year. Let's see. If he goes Boss Empyrean again, like, guys, I don't know. Does anybody have a better idea on how to beat Boss Empyrean? Like, if they don't go Boss Empyrean, I know exactly, like, how we can play some fun-ass units. Like this? Like, we got this. Here. Like, we can play Bellion Boss. There's a lot of stuff we can play out of this opening, right? But if he goes Boss Empyrean, like, I'm stuck, right? Or if he goes too aggressively, then I'm Boss Empyrean, you know? Like, it's so much easier to defend, especially when you have access to Empyrean. Just Hugo Tressa them. I think Hugo Tressa is too slow, Jeremy. I think, unironically, Hugo Tressa is too slow and it just doesn't work.
Please, have faith in me.
Ahmed made Freerin. I'm very familiar with this pipeline. Let's do this.
Come on, impress me.
1, 2, 3, 4. He's gonna go 2. Ahmed. Okay, maybe I go Empyrean. Here, I'll leave him the room to be able to ban it.
Are you going to provide some entertainment?
Zio, okay. What else is he gonna do? Looks like he wants to ban Boss. I mean, he needs to pick an Ahmed combo. Does Boss Empyrean lose to 3F Bellion if he has no mate FCC? It really depends on the rest of the draft. Boss Empyrean basically just means, like, you can't play anything single target, and you can't play anything overly slow. Like, you have to hit the boss Arunka hard enough that without using defense penetration, which is pretty fucking hard, because she has, like, you know, she's generally 3,000 defense plus.
No one can hide from the light of the full moon.
2, 3, 4. Alright, guys, what do I pick here that's not Setsuka? Because ban Kisei's Setsuka is, like, the easiest way to win this draft. What do I do here? That's not Setsuka. I can't think of anything. APOC, Amiki? You know what? I'm down to play some APOC. Fuck it. Yeah, let's play some fucking APOC. If I die, I die. It's pre-season, though. Like, I don't have to win every single game. Amiki, ban Ahmed. What do you mean ban Ahmed? Ban his third pick, ban Protect? Yeah, bro. Let me just ban Ahmed real quick. Why didn't I think of that? Pick green Gilet. Gilet is a new one, dude. Is that the slang for green violet?
I am the rightful ruler.
All right, just show me 15%.
Kneel before me.
Consider this in
All right, that's not exactly 15%, but this is fine. All right, dual attack. Best dual attack of my life.
If we must fight, take my power.
Ah, fuck it. I gave it the old college try.
The power of the eternal cycle will revitalize the
I
fallen.
meant Mei Lamau. Yeah, don't worry, you're good. Contextually, I just didn't get it though, but... let's see.
dare. The queen is here. Arrogance. I sentence you to death.
I was hoping my Bellion would counter here and we cleared the nulls. Not clearing the nulls is kind of annoying.
Not surrender.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is fine.
This spear will be the spear of protection.
Maybe I should have just clicked it on the Ahmed.
Come on, come at me.
But I think this is probably more fun. We'll do this one at a time. Let's play hopscotch with his units.
On the tallest day. Forgetting something.
Ooh, okay. Let's take his revive.
Time to face the consequences. Come on, impress me.
Let's do this.
What a walk in the park this
You should pick Ray. You win this match with Ray. Yeah, dude, APOC has terrible synergy with this team. You should have definitely picked Ray. Shit. Did you hear about PETA going after Uma? They go after anybody with, like, the remotest amount of relevance.
What cannot be avoided must be overcome.
That's, like, classic PETA strategy, dude.
Ballsy, aren't we?
Like, how do I put this? I understand that they're going for a good cause, but they act so fucking classless online, you can't help but to want to shit on PETA. It's like somebody saying, like, this is for a good cause, but they're like, going after your children, you know? Like, they're so low with what they go for such low-hanging fruits, you can't help but to take piss on them. They're an unhinged org? Yeah, I don't know, like, who does their PR. At this point, I think they're just a shit-posting organization that's just there to shit on their own public image. I don't think they're actually trying to get anything done. They got mass reported? Yeah, of course. Like, how do I say this, guys? They're the exact opposite as... I can't really think of a good example, so I'll use myself, right? You guys all know this. If you hang out here for more than one day, you know I'm not a nice person. I don't go out of my way to be nice to people. But not being a nice person doesn't mean I'm not good, right? I'm not a good person. If you ask me a question, and you mean to get a straight answer, I will try my best to find you an answer or to help out your situation, right? And whenever me and Divine do an event, we make sure to make a point that we are always doing something for charity or a charitable organization or for a cause, right? But we will never go out of our way to just be like, oh, little Timmy, you're having a hard time in RTA, or, you know, let me pat you on your little back and make sure you feel better. Like, no, fuck your feeling, right? Like, this, most people in the community are men, and I will treat you like you are a fucking man, right? But we are in it for a good cause. We'll make sure we do right by people. PETA's the opposite, right? They hide behind a good cause, but all they ever do is, like, shit post and take low-hanging fruits. And it's really hard to believe they're actually in it for a good cause, right? It's the opposite. Can I see your witch Tenny? Yeah, dude, I got you. I'm so proud of this build, bro. This build is fucking cracked. Yeah, does this help? Let me know when you're done so I can show the next line of stats. Thinking your lessons, you've been really patient in teaching people how to think or gear better. I think, like, in general, as long as you're not one of those guys that's asking a question to clearly, like, be sarcastic about something, or like, you know, if you're new, right, and you're genuinely asking a question in good faith, I think I can be patient, but it's like, bro, I've seen so many idiots just ask things to get attention from the streamer. Like, generally speaking, I will not go out of my way to be nice. But I will give you a straight answer, right? Do you want mine? I don't use her? Yeah, bro, my gear's ready. For anybody wondering, by the way, anytime I need to play Witch Tenebria, I just pick this one. They do mostly the same thing. Mostly, okay? There's pretty big differences. But if it were applicable, I will pick this one. And I'll pretend like they're the same unit. It mostly works the same. Like, Ruel being the only way turn 2 can play the game. No, I think a stronger example is like that guy from yesterday who kept trying to do his, like Ray propaganda, right? And then, like, he finally stepped on the landmine of, oh, I think Orlia has 0 synergy with your team. You should play Ray instead. Like, are you fucking for real, dude? You think a good damage support has 0 synergy with 2 damage dealers? Like, you know, that you're just being a straight fucking idiot at that point, right? Like, I'll call it like it is. And he even said, like, you know, I might not have made a lot of sense there, but I don't think it deserves being called an idiot. I'm like, okay, man, you wanna debate it reasonably, right? You were trying to make your points, and you said a damage support doesn't work, has 0 synergy with a 2 damage dealer team. If somebody told you that in your chat, in your house, what would you call them? Homie never answered my question. Can you cook with Fumir instead of Witch? Actually, yes. But that requires me to ban Bellion, and I am not too familiar with the pipeline. We could try. Like, their animal shelters have absurdly high... Oh, we're back on PETA? Yeah, I mean, I've only heard bad things about them ever, and I'm... Look, I can't validate, dude, I could not think of the fucking word. I can't validate whether or not that's true, but I have heard that go around a lot. And, like, based on their actions, you could tell, like, those people are in it for the online attention, and it's really hard to justify if they're in it for the actual good cause, right? On that note, Ruel or Ilanav? Okay, I feel like I answered this a couple times a day. So I'll go back to this, right? So if you're in the Discord, you see my tier list. Guys, literally just go down the list and headhunt the first thing you don't own. That's it. Like, if you want to know why I'm not making a video, or I don't want to waste my time, I don't want to waste my... It's literally just like every other tier list. Just go down the tier list, the first thing you don't have, just go pick them up. If you don't have Ilanav, how have you even been doing Guild War? You go to the first fight, there's a Genesis Ross. Ilanav basically carries the fight. You go into the second fight, there's a fucking Freerin. Every single Guild War defense is Genesis Ross, Freerin. I don't even know how you can play Guild War without Empyrean Ilanav. That is like the #1 mandatory unit to even be considered a valid human being in Guild War. What if I have everything? Just pick your best dupes. Like, are we really gonna act like we can't use 2 Empyrean Ilanav? You know? We don't have one to look like this, and then suddenly we have another one that looks like this. And then also, when this one inevitably dies in Guild War, because Setsuka's going to evade 28 times, you just put this one on the other gear, and then you'll have 2. Will you headhunt Witch Tenny if she's on it? Sure. I don't think she's on it, though. Might have to join the Discord eventually. I'm afraid we might get along and become friends. I've been holding off. You know what? Thank you for your prudence on that matter. Thank you for your attention on this matter. Where is our dupe tier list? You want me to make a dupe tier list? I'm actually kind of down. Cecilia bot. Here. Let's actually do this. Headhunt dupes tier list. Headhunt dupes tier list. Yeah, this is actually a good opportunity to talk about this, because this is something I actually kind of want to talk about. Right? Beats playing RTA? Wait, really? Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I think the only time I'm not having fun is when I'm playing against multiple revivers. In which case, I have to play Ahmed. Because I don't know how else to beat multiple revivers with an Empyrean Illidanap. Like, okay, the problem, guys, so for those of you guys that didn't understand earlier when I'm bitching about Boss Empyrean, right? Boss Empyrean in and of itself is not the problem. But when they go Boss Empyrean, Ruel made Apox, Spirit Eye, Genesis Ross, and Nurse, right? When they go down Boss Empyrean and a pipeline of 3 revivers, this is when the game is just extra unfun. That's it. Right? Like that is the easiest way to win the damn game. 2 new. Very unfun. If you're doing that during the regular season, that's fair. You're trying to win. I get it. Everybody's entitled to their win. In the preseason, when in 2 days we're getting our ranks reset, guys, I might say some words. I would want to say some words about people who do that. But last time I've made a joke towards that direction in the content creator program, I was given a warning and I was told that was discrimination. Discrimination against who or what? I do not know. But I was told it's discrimination, and I want to do my best to not offend anyone. So I'm gonna not talk about people who pick Empyrean, Boss, and 3 revivers in the preseason. Okay, I'm just gonna stop myself from doing that. Do you know a safe site to buy and sell E7 account? Yeah, that's against the TOS. You do not ask somebody from the content creator program that question. See, talking about that would get you kicked out of the content creator program. Okay. But if we're talking about a dupe tier list, right? Okay, I think easily the best character to have a dupe of... Okay, so let's talk about who's too new. I think this is too new. I think that's it, right? Like, it's these 2. Is there anyone else on the 2 new side of things? It's these 2 scales. Right. And then it's these 3. Anything else? Okay, I think that's it. So let's get things out of the way, right? Shit that goes in the bottom tier can stay in the bottom tier. What would you, like, never care for a second copy of? Let's just clear out the bottom tier, so you know, we don't have to get confused about nothing, right? Ainz is fake, we don't ever have to consider that. Ross. I mean, Ross and Ainz are probably not there. I mean, this is, like, pretty much it, right? Unfortunately, I think Navy Captain Land... Actually, Navy Captain Landy's not even the worst dupe. We'll talk about this later. There's actually a reason to keep around a Navy Captain Landy dupe. LQC? No, LQC is... You could get LQC. LQC is a hell of an old hero. Is there anything that's, like, too new? Nothing else, right? Flid. Okay, yeah, Flid. Oh, unless you're trying to say, like, OQC is bottom tier. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Not after APOC buff, not after APOC, and not after Nurse. Most certainly not after Nurse. Dark Corvette. Pooty. Motherfucker, you can't say this shit out loud, man. If you ever want to move up to Veritas, and you let Derp the Jag hear you say Dark Corvus is bottom tier, not only is he confiscating your balls, he is never letting you in. Nah, man, what are we talking about? Dark Corvus is actually fairly important for Guild War players. Now, I don't know if you would ever need a dupe, right? You might want one for RTA, you might... There is a world, right? I'm thinking about this. There is a world you want one for RTA, and you would want one for, like, Guild War. Dark Corvus dupe is met. Contextually, all dupes are met. Guys, think about this. This is a strictly dupes tier list for very, very endgame players. If you're losing Guild War with DC, you deserve to. Holy shit, look at that, guys. This is normally the time I wake up around. Malona dupe is okay. Brother, Malona's first copy is not even useful right now. Let's be honest with ourselves, right? So no Ross, no Ainz. They go on the bottom of the list. I think these are probably the most useless ML5s in the game right now. I think this is pretty much it, right? Like, every single one of these characters technically don't have a job. Don't slander my boy Carlos. Dude, Jello's putting on his best Andrew Man mode impression right now. Okay. Let's fill out the top tier. I think there's some dupes that people can easily agree on are some of the best, right? Now we're gonna eliminate the opinion that, like, this is like a... Like, certain things are good for whales, certain things are not good for, like, whales or free-to-plays, because if you're duping an ML5, you're most likely, like, super loaded on resources anyhow. What do you know about Triple Torrent Zeoproc Closer? Shut the fuck up, Jeremy. Ahoy, Daystar. Let's see. I think easily the best dupe in the game right now is Empyrean. I don't think anybody can argue that. I think having two for RTA, a tank one, and a bruiser one is just inherently helpful. Sometimes you're already locked in, you don't want to pick your tank Empyrean, or you just need a bruiser, but you want pen res, it's Empyrean. Like, this is the best dupe in the game right now. Nobody's disagreeing with that, right? Jeremy is being serious, though. We tried. You guys are so fucking unserious. You're telling me the most unserious thing, and you're like, yeah, bro, we tried it. He's being serious. No, you guys are being unserious. I'm not saying I don't believe you tried it. I'm just saying you're being fucking unserious right now. Okay, I think the best dupe in the game is Empyrean. You say anything else, I don't think you play with dupes enough. If you play with a dupe anything else, the only thing that comes close to Empyrean in terms of how useful having a dupe is Numa Luna. I think these two characters is like, you have one for Guild War, you have one for RTA, and they're very helpful in that if you accidentally lose one in Guild War, well, you immediately just re-gear your second one and you're back in the game. I think these two are easily the best. They're in, like, a class of their own. Alright, we can't disagree there, right? Bellion, and Luna. I think Luna's fine. I think Bellion, depending on the meta, yes, but like, this meta, for example, like, you're just playing 3F. Like, you're not ever playing the Aureus one. Two Strays pretty niche? I disagree. I don't think it's for everyone, but I think Two Strays is, like, it's a really flexible power move for Amit players. You can't run into Aureus scale CR cutters, otherwise you don't proc. Yeah, exactly. Quick poll for new players, any tips? So I'm assuming you just got to the stream, in which case, just reference the tier list, man. Just go down top to bottom, pick the first thing you don't have. It's not that deep. Right, I think these two are by far the best. Right, this is like two, it could potentially save your guild war, it could potentially save RTA. Fuck Amit players, let me know. Yeah, dude? Yeah, bro, let's just, I think, yeah. Yeah, let's remove all context, right? Yeah, 2 strays pretty niche. I think this is like the most helpful thing to have 2 of. I think Zeo used to be kind of similar, because it's like kind of helpful to have an effectiveness Zeo, but after the buff, I think you just run 1. So I think these are the only 2 S tier dupes to have. What's this game? Ethic 7. I don't know how you found the stream and not know the game. That's kind of a dupe buff. It has to be a knight. It's definitely one of the knights. It's definitely one of the knights. Dilly? I only have 1 Dilly, and you have no idea that the amount of times where I'm like, oh, man, I wish I had the other Dilly. Briar. I think Briar is probably one of them, right? You have an opener Briar, and if you have your opener Briar, depending on the Guild War defense you're attacking into, oftentimes it is very helpful to have a slower damage Briar. Yeah. I think this is very hard to argue against. I think Boss Arunka is another really good one, just because she's like probably top 3 unit in the game right now. I don't think anybody can argue against that. If you have, right, if you have a Bruiser one, you play the Bruiser one for counterattack, and if you have a full tank one, you just slap proof on that bitch. She holds it down. 2 ML Roana, I don't think you ever need a second ML Roana. If you're referring to having one with high F and having a second one with high attack, my only retort is just get better gear and play one that has both high attack and high F. Like, look at Machine, you know? Ask Machine if he's ever needed a second ML Roana. The answer is no. If you have bad gear for your ML Roana, I suppose you could use a second one, right? What I think is very helpful is Wknd. I think Wknd, the tank build right now is not super good. But back when it was Tory meta, back when it was Worlds meta, if you ever play in any sort of like events, I think having a second Wknd is very helpful. You have one as like a DPS, and you have one as a tank. Having a second one. I think, okay, I'm thinking about this, guys. I think Bellion's one of them. I think Spirit Eye's up here. I think Solly is up here. Right, let me move up all the ones that I actually think are worth having 2 of. I think Harsetti is worth having 2 of. Maybe not in this meta. I think Harsetti has enough counters now that you don't have to have 2. Right, there was a period where if you had a regular village one, and if you had a speed one, it really lets you flex your strategy, and that was pretty helpful. But I think right now in this current meta, having a speed Harsetti is no longer that good because people can easily play a ROM. People can easily play like a young Senya setup. There's a lot of ways to set up against Harsetti now that it just doesn't feel like it matters. Yeah, it's like Daystar said. This is not the meta. I don't even think Wknd is like particularly that good. I'm even okay putting Wknd down here. But I still think it's better than Harsetti. I think Harsetti is like a very good B tier. Very middle of the pack. Yeah, DDR I think is also a candidate to consider. Do you even care for a second Ruel? I think like maybe. But like most likely not, yeah? Sea Phantom I think also could be worth a consideration. I think Strays is worth considering. I think Ball is worth considering. Right? Let's move out a couple of more things that's just like, they're either not good or there's absolutely no reason you would need a second one. So like, I'll move Stenny here. This fucking hurts, but it is what it is, right? Judge Kisei is like, you just need your one. You just need your one to play with Ahmed. That's it. LRK's also not a very good character right now. Is like, I don't even think you need the first one, much less a second one. Dragon Bride is also like there was a meta where you could have definitely used two, but like that time period is done and over with. Second Ruel, only idle version. I mean, I could see it, but for most players, if you just have one, you can just swap the artifact around depending on what's good. 2 ML Arius is good? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. DPS Kron, that's another character that's just like, the first copy's not even very necessary, much less a second one. Right? We can't like just keep stacking things here. Specimen says, like, he don't matter. I think like the characters that matter in any form of content, Tywin used to be like up here for if you wanted a second copy of him. Now, guys, when was the last time like anybody played a Tywin that's not a misclick because they were trying to pick Empyrean and they fucking misclicked? Right? I think like this is like a pretty reasonable way to look at it. I think here, like, we'll put some, like, that's, like, okay if you just want to play a second copy. I think Aria's, like, a pretty good representation here. Like, because most Arias, for most people, you actually want it quite fast. But if you're a village player, I could see you wanting a slow one, right? So let's look at our good options, right? So why would Solitaria be up here? Solitaria, you want to control Red Flan with, right? There was definitely a period, especially when Village Red Flan was, like, super in flavor. I think you definitely wanted 2 Solitaria. But if you only had one and you just had a slow tanky one, that's good enough. And if you look at the way Solitaria is built nowadays, most people have opted to slow down their Solitaria, drop the effectiveness, just be very tanky in case you ever have to play her with the Village. And I think that's enough, right? But I do think there is a world where you could have a second one for Village, one for speed drafts. And that's fine. 2 Shoes, maybe? I think Shu is a very strong character to have 2 of. For no other reason than you want to have an effect resistance one to play against the scale Setsuka strategy in Guild War. That's a very common build. This is actually one of those characters I personally have 2 of, and I use the second one all the fucking time for Guild War. I don't have an artifact in, because her artifact slides around a lot, but yeah, the build basically looks something like this. You're very high HP, very high effect resistance, and Setsuka basically misses S3 on you, and you just keep tempoing with her. This is actually very good. I have ER Solly and normal version. I don't use ER version. I think, like, you could probably argue for this here. But I think Shu is worth a second one of. Bellion, I think, is quite good, but this is not a meta to be playing Aureus Bellion, so you could really flex this up and down. I think Bellion could probably go here for now. I'm a very big fan of Strays if you're an Ahmed player, but if you're not an Ahmed player, like, it doesn't really matter. If you just have a fast version of Strays, he'll get the job done. My Setsuka tags yours? You can eat my ass, Jeremy. Spirit Eye Celine is another one that whales love having 2 of. They make one that's like 310 speed. And then they make one that's like 260 speed with more damage. So this really depends on whether or not you have like hella spare gear to make a good Spirit Eye fast. I would probably, though, say that she's, like, here for most people. Like, if you're a YouTube viewer and you're trying to figure out if you want to dupe a Spirit Eye, I think she's probably still here. Okay, for real, though, Ray used to be a character where, dude, the second Ray felt so oppressive. But I think after the meta was over, after the Tori meta, like the second race, bro, the first race barely relevant. I don't know if you would ever play the second one. Before I would have put him here. Now I think he kind of goes here, right? Let's think about this. So like here. Oh man. Nah, fuck it. This is too much work. I'm not making another tier. So I would say here is like the character I would really recommend you having two of. This is like if you have a second version, you can comfortably flex them for their utility. This is like very niche. This is not good or only played one way. So this is just like... This is like a personal choice if you want to have a second one of this, right? This is kind of how I see the different tiers. Two Bihuas. I think for most people, if you know your playstyle, you only need one. So for me, she kind of goes here, right? But if I had a second one, I would most certainly build her. Right, I would have a build that looks like this, with speed, so I can play any kind of speed strategy with Ahmed, ML, Peyra. I think for most people, though, if you have a base speed version, it's good enough. Got like 5 or 6 DDRs. Well, yeah, that's because most people's dupe DDRs were made back during, like, a year ago. Back when, like, DDR dupes was literally sitting in this spot. Like, there was nothing that could beat a Ray. If you first picked Ray, your draft was set. If you remember how a Lifton play, which was the Hall of Fame free-to-play player, right? He was first picking Ray every single game. That was back when he had a lot of strategic value. Now, if you just have, like, a first copy, I think it's good enough. I think he says here. And also, like, bro, it's Keith, man. That account is, like, 200,000 USD. Like, most people aren't playing with that level of gear. Right, you also have to factor in, right? Like, if everybody had infinite amount of gear, I think Spirit Eye Celine be up here, and most people be learning when to flex their speed Spirit Eye. Right, I think one Dark Corvus is enough for most people. I think Conqueror Lilius, like, you probably have to. It's not really, like, that good or that bad. Yeah, DDR had, like, a generational fall off. Let's see. I actually think Ludwig kind of goes down in this tier because there's only one way to play him. Who the fuck was it? There's like a Latin there was a Latin cleaver that had 2 Ludwigs, and one of them was base speed. He would play with Oxlots. You guys remember who I'm talking about? I can't remember who the fuck it was. It was like the Oxlots on 3-player, and he had 2 Ludwigs he would flex depending on how you draft, and it was actually kind of annoying to deal with. But I think outside of him, I've never seen a second copy of Ludwig on any account. Baruka S tier, not A? Dude, you really need to stop yapping without knowing the context of these conversations, man. This is a dupes tier list. 2 Surmias, 1 Giga damage, 1 symbol lifesteal. I don't think the symbol version you go lifesteal. You just go, you still go Destro. But I think it's still very personal choice, because you know whether or not you need her to be your default, like, Setsuka counter. It just shows how much power creep has been inserted. I mean, also, like, you kind of creep away from different playstyles, right? Like, the Ray seasons, debuffs were really powerful. Now, debuffs feel very weak. Right, and you're playing with more unique buffs now, like, you're playing Conk back. You're actually playing with Sea Phantom back into the mix as well. I think Sea Phantom is kind of with these guys where if you have a high effectiveness version and you had a effect resistance version, is kind of handy. But I think for most people, like, you know very well if you're going to be using the F. Actually, yes. No, you know, she goes down here with Bihua. These are like... You just know which one you're running. So it's kind of your choice if you need a second one. Right? Jeremy, does Jello still run 2A Ravis? You have the standard A Ravi, so bend where it doesn't flame you? And then he has his, like, counter one, right? Does Jello still do that? Or does he just run one now? Yes? Okay, I'll keep it in here. If you said no, I would have just jammed her down here, but, like... I'll keep a Ravi in this tier. It doesn't mean it's bad, right? It just means, like, it's less important to have two of. I don't think P. Flan is played in Standard anymore. There's only one way to play her. I think K-Ron is, like... K-Ron probably goes here. SBA, you literally only have one way of playing her. OpSig has two builds, but most people would just play the slower build, because you can't reasonably make a fast OpSig. It's very difficult. MLTU, yeah, like all the cleave characters, there's only one build for, so you just build one. Cello counter set not very good since the Great Migration. What's the Great Migration, bro? Yeah, what's the Great Migration? Sage Ball. I think Sage Ball's a B tier. Because he has multiple builds, right? So the big important thing with when you think about how if you're duping an ML5 for Headhunt, right? If you have every character in the game, is how many viable builds are there for each character and how much play rate each build takes up, right? And there's actually a way to quantify this. Because if you actually just go to, like, RTA stats, right? You can easily verify this by looking at how many percentage of people play, like, a counter build, which in this case will be about 55%. And then after that, people start spreading out to different builds. Like, the full tank build, if you just scroll through everything, probably adds up to about, like, 25, 30-ish%. Most people still play counter, though. We have Ball on the first page? We do. Yeah, if you look at this, Ball actually has a couple of ways of being built. I think most people go for a high HP variant. Some people go for, 13% of people go for an effectiveness variant. And then you have like an ER variant. The immunity variant kind of comes in, but that could be ER or HP. So it goes in a bunch of different ways. And some people play for, like, if you see one speed set, it probably just means they're running like a 290, 300 speed variant. So there's a lot of different ways to play Ball, right? This is actually quantifiable and verifiable. So Ball actually has a couple of builds. Okay. I think we gotta shout out the Navy Captain Landy in B tier, right? Navy Captain Landy, you barely play the counterattack version, but there is a universe where it still carries some anti-cleave runs, okay? But the main thing you're running a second copy for is if you do not have any of the good answers for Witch of the Mere Tenebria. That bitch only strips 2 buffs. You run this one with Aureus, immunity, and protection set. The protection set and the anti-crit buff eats up the 2 strips against Witch Tenny, and you protect your team's immunity. Sage Ball's a beast, great to have dupes for his niches. I barely play him, so I think it's pretty hard to justify. I think for most people, you're really looking at, like, the first 5 units of the tier list, to be honest, right? And everything else kind of spreads out. I think FCC kind of goes in C tier. It's kind of a personal choice. When she first got buffed, I think it was absolutely worth having a second copy, especially as a cleave player, where you steal their FCC away, you take away one of the best tanks for anti-cleave, and then you just play her on 3F and you click S3 for a lot of damage. That's a pretty big one. I think Peyra goes in here, guys. I think there was a time where you go for a top speed Peyra build, right? Like, you have a Peyra for Tooth and Peyra for Sweet Miracle. I think now she's like, the Sweet Miracle build isn't very relevant anymore. So you take this. Where's my FCC speed imprints? Is the extra Peyra on Riposte? Yeah. I think right now if you make a second one, you probably still play Tooth, but you just play like a shittier copy of Tooth and you play Riposte. Yeah, dude, Flash, can you imagine how gross the speed mirror matches are if you just have FCC with speed imprint and you first pick FCC and the other player just immediately stuck racing you? My Payra on Champ Trophy. Fishing. Is that your first Payra or second Payra, Jeremy? Let's see. I think Lua used to kind of have multiple builds back when Village first became a thing. But now you just have your one, and she's barely played on the one build. Wow. I think Arby's also a one build character now. I don't think anybody's playing counter Arby anymore. When Tristan swore up and down ML Pair was ruining the game, that day never came. I think it fucked up the game for a lot of people. Because if you didn't have AU Fiend, and Ret Polly's not a playable, like, control character, Payra just ran laps around you. There was like the thing that made it very OP was at high ranks, ML Payra had 2 separate drafts where it was 100% win rate. If you were first pick, you had ML Payra. You had 2 separate ways of bridging into an unbeatable draft. I think one was Payra into third pick Luna, and one was Payra into third pick Lua. Both of those, depending on how good your speed was and how good your opponent was, like, there was no way you could win some of those. Especially the Payra one. First, I could make 2. Damn. I remember back when there was a time when this guy was free to play, man. That's crazy. I don't think there was a second build for Leica. Second build for Zeo now is also very moot. I would say he used to be here. There was a time where you really wanted to damage Zeo for certain Zeo drafts, but now it's, I mean, your one Zeo is your damage Zeo. I think Sharoon could use a second build for Guild War if you use her for Guild War defense with Renak, but that's it. I can't think of a second usage. Remember a time where C. Lilius is a must? This is a Dupe's tier list, man. We're not talking about the character's strength as a whole. That's on a separate tier list. Now is whoever has Renak. The Renak's not even a part of this. This is a Headhunt Dupe's tier list for people who have every character. This is a completely different context to evaluate these units, dude. I'm talking about overall. Oh man, we're really about to come to Renak. Renak's not even that good right now. She's like a solid unit. She's still a top like 7 unit, but she's not like, you have her, you win. Bossarunka is still much better. These are what I don't know how to evaluate. How useful is a second Ruel and how useful is a second Maid? I think Archdemon. Oh man, I don't even think one Archdemon is that useful nowadays. I think back when ML Lua was very relevant, a second Archdemon was super helpful, but now I think she's just like, she's not that useful. Hand Guy is kind of useful for 2. I think for standard players, you actually want him quite fast, but for village players, you do want him to be speed tuned to your Harsetti, so we can put him here. I think Maid is helpful in having a second copy of in RTA, because a lot of times, depending on the matchup, you really want to be switching your artifact around. There are worlds where Water's Origin Maid is the best, and there's drafts where you really, really, really want something like Unfading Memories for Maid. Dupe Haste is meta. Yeah, no, there was a time where Haste was also a S-tier dupe. Right? Because you had the full bulk one, you had a counterattack haste. I think most people know about the counterattack haste, but for people who... Oh shit, where's my fucking haste gear, bro? Uh-oh. Ah. Yeah, bring that shit back. Yeah, this was like the best haste, but then, like, a lot of people still like counterattack, which I think is still better at that time for Village. But now you're no longer running this build. You're not really running haste that much, and I suppose you could have a second one, but he eats up so much good gear. That's the problem. Dilly, oh shit. I think Dilly could use 2 builds, but it's pretty niche. I think this, okay, so like, Ruel is... Oh, God. Do I want to advocate for this? I think Ruel... If I was being honest, I think Ruel goes here for dupes. If I were to follow my heart, I think Ruel goes here for dupes. I think that's how I would put it. And then LQC... Oh, God. No, I think LQC goes here. Unk forgot Hasten S. Well, if I was doing things like based on time, I would probably leave him here. Like currently, I think like you just do this. It doesn't really matter. And then you can't have these two. Elaborate twin headhunt dupes for what purpose? For having a second copy of. What do you mean? Like sometimes it's really good to have two separate builds for RTA. And it's very handy for Guild Wars so you don't have to change gear. And then also, these are common units that will die in Guild War. And then you just have a second copy so you don't have to, like, do an attack without Empyrean Illinev or Luna. These are, like, by far the two best units to have a second copy of. Fast 250 variant on Durandal against Bryceria and a slow Golden Rose Destro for sustain and damage. Wait, what are you talking about? Issue for her is imprints for Lilibet. Oh, for Lilibet? I think for most people now, you're running... It's not 250. It's like 235 speed Durandal for most forms of cleave that requires her. I don't think a slower one is that real anymore. Yeah, I think for most people, you're running some variation of, she's not a shield, she's a sword. You're running like a 235 version of her. Yeah, I agree with Alvi. I think the slow one in modern day meta is impossible to play. There is no spot to run the slow one. Before, it was like maybe useful for like a like a comboed up Harsetti draft, but Harsetti's like, I think the biggest reason to have a second copy of most of these is Harsetti, but Harsetti's fallen off decently hard as like a top tier unit. And now most people, including myself, ban Harsetti just to make sure the draft isn't annoying, you know? She's more annoying than she is actually strong. Like, if you ask most people in RTA who pre-banned Harsetti, can you still play the game with Harsetti back in? I think for most people, the answer is yes. You can play with Harsetti in the game. Solly fully stops her. I think, like, with a ROM now, Harsetti is really difficult to get value out of. Yeah, a ROM was, like, the nail in the coffin that really sealed away the Harsetti meta. If you watch two players, like, two Turtle players play right now, without Harsetti in the pre-ban, right? What ends up happening, guys, is both players will pass up third pick without taking Harsetti. And then they'll just respectfully, gentleman's agreement, nobody picks a fast unit, nobody picks Harsetti, and they'll just play the game slow. And if somebody goes for a fast unit on 4-5, the other person will pick Harsetti, and then the other guy bans the Harsetti, and then the other guy bans the fast unit, and they kind of handshake on it. Do people run fast Harsettis? Not anymore, not after a ROM. A ROM really locked away all, like, strategic... So, guys, what I mean when I say strategic value is, like, if I first pick something like or Boss Arunca, right? Boss Arunca, on top of being a strong character, has an insane amount of strategic value. Strategic value means it contributes to my overall strategy of, I can play Cleave with Boss Arunca. I can slow down and play Turtle with Boss Arunca. The possibilities of strategies I can play and pivot around your strategy is very, very high with Boss Arunca, right? Same with Empyrean Illinev. You can pick her and you can actually speed up and flex her into a Cleave if you have the Bruiser version. Very powerful move, right? You deny pen res from your opponent when cleaving them. But right now, I would say after a ROM, like, Harsetti value kind of just fell off a cliff. And subsequently, a lot of characters basically had the value of their second copy tank as a result of that. The biggest thing I will say going for it is most of these characters are either you really want to flex multiple builds in RTA or flex multiple artifacts in RTA, or you really like having 2 copies of in case something goes wrong in Guild War. And oftentimes shit do go wrong in Guild Wars. You'll still win your fight, but you might lose a unit in the process, especially with how Setsuka is. I don't know if I speak for anybody else. I speak for myself when I say this. Way too damn many times I'll do an attack in Guild War with Empyrean Ilanav, and somehow Setsuka counterattacks 26 times. I miss 26 attacks in a row, Setsuka just goes infinite, and I'll fucking eat shit. And even with a 100% win rate team, sometimes you will still lose a unit. It happens. Right? Is a ROM gonna be in the limited select banner? She should be. Does Setsuka go infinite like Mei Lin? Yeah, man. The faster your opponent attacks, the more infinite she goes. So yeah, I think this is like my dupes tier list, right? Like, this is like fine to have, like, if it's your choice to have 2 copies of these, great, right? This is like, bro, you're only playing this character one way or not at all, so it's like, doesn't really matter what you do. So yeah, I think this is your like dupes tier list, and then if you just want your regular tier list, like, here you go. I think, like, if you didn't have units anywhere underneath this, it wouldn't even, like, matter that much. I think within the top 2 tiers, like, it has most units, if not all the units you'll ever need for PvP. You show your dad's stats for Spirit Eye Celine? Yeah, sure. Here. Any other stats you guys want to see? Let me know. If you're borderline niche. I mean, probably. Like, honestly, if we're talking about, like, dupes, dude. It's like, bro, I think if you played the game with only 1 copy of every unit, like it's fucking Genshin, like, it's fine, you know? Like, you don't ever really... Do you really ever need your second copy of Empyrean? Fuck no. If you have your first copy, you're Bing Chiling. Right? ML Aria? Sure. I got you. Alright, guys. I'm gonna take a piss. When I come back, down to run some matches. Down to yap a little bit more. If you guys have any questions, yeah, feel free to hit me up with it. Yep. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. Fucking lost one of my earbuds for a second. What the fuck? Let me see Sylve Sage. What do I have here? This is a Guild War build. This is a strictly Guild War build for... You guys know that one comp in Guild War? Boss Sarunka, Renak, Empyrean? Yeah, this is for that. I don't think I have played against it for quite a minute now, but that comp does pop up every once in a while, so you play this to counter it. Boss Sarunka plus anything squishy in the back dies to this. All right. I did not need 3 of these. I mean, if you have it, you just take it, right? It's kind of whatever. All right. Let me see. All right. I'm so fucking. Okay. I'm so fucking lazy. What's cooking today? I'm not doing my own variety. So headhunt tier list. So for people who want a regular headhunt tier list, right? Don't ever say I don't got you. Okay. So this is my regular PvP tier list. All right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna move off every single non-ML5 character and call it a fucking day. That's all I'm gonna do with this. Let's see. Yeah, okay, you don't qualify. You don't qualify. You're not an ML5. Let's move these off. And then this'll be my headhunt tier list, guys. Anybody ask? There's my headhunt tier list. Save as new. What do you mean by that? Like, they're not an ML5. They're not in headhunt. What do you mean, Alvi? Like, also vet me, guys, if I miss anything that's not an ML5. Okay, these are all ML5s. Not you, not you, not you, not you, not you, not you. Get out of here. You can stay. Get out of here. You're out of here. You're out of here. Like, don't you guys love how like lazy content creators go to fucking work? My man woke up late. I did not wake up late. I was up at 5 a.m. Bro, I had to get other work done before I went live today. I was like, I could have streamed at like 7 a.m. today. I'm like, nah, I gotta keep y'all motherfuckers on your toes. I'm not finna go live every single day in the morning and have people get used to this content and be like, where's my morning content, man? Like, no. I'm not about it, bro. Here, get out of here. You're in, you're out. These two are fine. This is fine. You're out, you're out. You're out. Yeah, look at this. Isn't this a perfect system for a tier list? Like, I just take my regular tier list, make a copy of it, and take out anything that's not an ML5. Whoa. Which Tenny is not available? I don't think so. Actually, good call, because if she was available, I'd take her in a fucking heartbeat, because I don't own her. Your weaning is back to your normal time. Guys, I think I'm finally getting old. I've been acting like a fucking grandpa. Like, I know people out here be calling me unk, but like, bro, at 10 p.m., I could not stay awake. I wanted to stay up with the boys yesterday and play some fucking TFT. I couldn't stay up, man. I was playing a run of CZN, and I shit you guys not, okay? I don't know if you guys noticed, today, I've been cracking my neck a little often, okay? And that's because last night, I was playing CZN, watching a video on the side, on my side monitor. I fell the fuck asleep like this for like 20 minutes. And I've never done that before. Keep in mind, guys, I work all night, most nights. I've never done that. I've never fell asleep at my chair playing anything. I was like, what the fuck is happening, bro? This is not me. I could not stay up. I immediately packed everything up. I went upstairs. I washed up. I went the fuck to sleep. I couldn't do it. I can't do it, man. You're legit unk mode already? I think that's an insult to unks, man. I think you're doing the unks out there a little dirty. Like, that is straight grandpa style. I couldn't do it. Oh, I'm so ashamed of myself, man. And people out here calling me unk. I wish that was me. I wish I could act like an unk and still game all night. That's a real unk move. Val was my morning content during normal time because he goes live around midnight or a bit later. I have to wake up at 6 every day. Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't stay up past 10 p.m. I don't know what it is. Guys, I legitimately think we're out of ML5s. Okay, maybe not. There's still a couple more. Sealed Icerin. Flawn. Brieg. Wow. Why do I feel like I'm doing Lone Crescent Bologna? Wait, I took Flit off. This might actually be the 2 worst ML5s in the game right now. Like, they have no... You serve 0 purpose. You should buff yourself now. Alright, am I missing anything else? Light Dark, 5-star. Oh shit, Taeyu. Okay, Taeyu's actually not bad. I think I took him off on accident. 2 new. 1, 2. Oh, Astro could also go down here. They need to rework... Yeah, basically, the moment regular Lidica got buffed, Flid was fucking worthless. I hate to say it, boys. But that ends up being the issue, right? The moment regular Lidica got buffed to be kind of similar... What point did Faithless Lidica serve when she was, like, 9 base speed slower? We all getting old? Yeah, bro. I couldn't stay up past, wait, scales goes down here. I think this is it, right? I think depending on how things go, you could argue Bihua can move up a tier. I think you could argue Apoc goes up a tier. But for most of these characters, like, these are, like, pick 4 or 5 characters, and these are characters where they're really only good at, like, doing 1 or 2 things. Yes! Okay, hey, you know what? Respect. That was, if you remember back, the first ever E7WC champion, Brother Stone, he loved crafting in the 2nd channel, which right now, in my server, is called Glue Factory. Don't if you know, you know. Anyway... Dude, he loved crafting in that channel, because that channel was the only channel he actually hit a respectable amount of speeders in. I refuse to download E7. Big ups, dude. Big ups. Tea doesn't fix your neck. Yeah, man. I cranked my neck yesterday, because I fell asleep for 20 minutes in my chair. And, dude, it just fucking hurts. So I've been really stretching my neck today. I actually stretch and crack my neck way more than usual just today. So yeah, I think this is the headhunt tier list. Is there anything you guys think needs to be changed or contested about this list? I think every single one of these tier 1 units have a reason to be up here. I think these are like the must-haves for every single game mode. I think this is like... You know, these are all cool characters to some degree, and they all have a job for existing. I think if you're picking one of these characters, it's because you own everything up here already. And then, like, these 3, I genuinely cannot for the life of me think of a way to actually play them. They know what they're here for. Respect. I respect it. It would be Empyrean Illinav because I've boss. Yes. So... The easiest way to think about this, right, is... Actually, I think FCC could go down a whole tier. I hate to say this, but I think Empyrean Illinav, like, if I close my eyes and you ask me what the best tank in the game is, I would say Empyrean Illinav in a heartbeat. And if you ask me what I think the second best tank in the game right now, I don't even think it's FCC. I think it's Yolha, right? I think Yolha is a tank, or a tier below Empyrean Illinav. Right? And I think FCC is a tier below that. She's not bad. She has her place. But a lot of times, I think if you pick her on 3, you're not really swinging your matchups. You rather have Yolha on 3, right? So it would make sense to say FCC is like 1 tier below that. So the way I would look at this is, yeah, this is like you must have, right? In this, starting from this tier, right, like, everybody needs these 3 characters. These 3 characters are just too damn important for the game. They do too many things, they have too many tools, they enable you to do things, or they lock away your opponent's options when you play this game, right? And especially when you start getting into PvP, right, which is what ML5 characters are used for, this is too important. I think starting here, you have to consider what playstyle you do. If you want to play speed, Zio is too important. If you want to slow down, or you want to play like Guild War Arena, Harsetti's too important, right? And I think all of these characters are kind of on a similar tier in terms of how important they are. I would maybe even say like... if I were to organize them in the same tier, I would say like probably even something like this. I think the revive characters are a little bit too gross. Would it be better? Oh, you weren't here for this. But we actually have a dupes tier list specifically for dupes, so I would reference that. But you would definitely... I would say the dupes are such a moot thing to have, and they're so... it's so whale, right? I would only consider going for a dupe if you have everything tier 3 and above. Like, if you're missing... again, I hate to say this because I like the character. Like, if you're missing Lone Crescent Bellona, right? If you're missing Lone Crescent Bellona, Faithless Lidica, and you're missing Astro Elena, I think a second Empyrean is much better for your account. But, like, if you're gonna ask me, is it second Empyrean or, like, Navy Captain Landy? I'm like, you know what? Navy Captain Landy actually could be used sometimes. There's, like, a reason for her to exist. Same with Sage Vivian, right? Like there are reasons for them to exist. They're actually going to help you in certain matchups. But, like, Flid? Nah, you rather have a second Empyrean. You rather have a second Luna. When do you run Bruiser Imp over Aureus? For when you play aggro, basically. You're playing aggro, and either you are looking for an easy pivot, or you are looking to deny Penres. Luna, basically God. I wouldn't put her, like, as high as that, but she's very important to have. I think when she first came out for 1 year, she basically was God. After that, after Lone Wolf Payra came out, she's just like, she's good in she's God in the right spots, but outside of the perfect spot to be picking her, she's just a solid unit. And the really scary thing about her is there's almost always a way to find a 100% win rate draft with her. But the stars do have to align for you, and your opponent needs to be making some mistakes. That's kind of the thing with Luna, right? Is you can't ever count her out, because a good Luna player will be able to set up lethal on you if they get the right draft and the right conditions versus you. Scott at Guild War for sure, yeah. Because in Guild War and Arena, it's possible to always set up a draft to go a certain way, right? Out of Payra or ML Hua, who should I pick if I don't really have good speed gear? See, this is like where experience helps a lot, right, Melon? Payra's a mostly fast character. She was very universal, even for slow players, but that era is kind of over, so it would probably be Bihua. Payra, Doni, speed gear. Okay, everybody is saying this like low-key with the Loke. Holy shit, bro. It's fucking crazy. I think she does now. I don't think Sweet Miracle Payra is very good anymore. You're either going Toss Feed Tooth, or you're going Riposte Tooth, right? Let's see. The fuck? Okay. Ashley, no, I'm not taking no fucking calls from unknown numbers. These are likely scammers. Fuck it. Why are you early these days? I would say I brick my sleep schedule, but I also fixed my sleep schedule. I legitimately have a grandpa sleeping schedule now. Guys, I sleep at 10 p.m. and I wake up at 5 a.m. I wish I could sleep in later, but my body's just like, oh boy, 5 a.m. The fuck? Okay. Why is it calling me like repeatedly, bro? What the fuck? Please pick up. I deserve to be in the champion bracket. Don't make me play against the Warlord and Emperor players. I'm competitive, 6-month free-to-play, I swear. If you know that reference. Hey. If you know that reference. So when's the Uma tier list? I'm not tier listing Umas, bro. If I tier list Umas, I'm tier listing them solely based off of their design. And it would be a very sus stream. I'll tell you that. Okay? I can't go to sleep under 12 p.m. Yeah, man. I wish. Like, I used to not be able to sleep at all. And now it's like, at 10 p.m., I just get tired. Unk? I don't... That's the thing, right? I think if I sleep like a unk, it would be good. Bro, I sleep like a grandpa now. I cannot stay awake. What's up, Dark Kid? How you doing, dude? So yeah, there you go. Headhunt tier list. Actually, let me post this in the server. Okay. Export as PNG. Dupe's tier list for Headhunt. And then this is just Headhunt tier list. STGE7GG review. Reacted by Satono Damage. Man, Abby, shut the fuck up. Dude, that emo's so goated. Cafe got good. Cafe has a good design. Like, good interactions in the story. Good everything, man. The only thing that's not good... Bro, anybody else feel me on this? My problem with Manhattan Cafe... She hits sleep deprived the most out of every single Uma Musume I've ever trained. I'm losing my fucking mind, bro. I'm ending up with runs where I'm hitting multiple instances of sleep deprived. And, like, it's just so bad, man. It's so bad. She recovers it if she hits Night Owl. She hits sleep deprived so much. I'm stuck between SPP Harsetti. I don't know which one's more useful. Go watch some videos, see which one fits your playstyle better. That's it, right? You could feasibly, if they're in the same tier, guys, you could feasibly pick either one and build your playstyle towards them. It's me with any Uma TBH. I think, like, for example, when I play Gold Ship, if a run is bad, it's really bad. I don't even care if I hit sleep deprived, because that's the least of my issues, right? But I feel like on a good run Gold Ship, it's getting well rested every single fucking rest. That shit is unreal. Bro, when I play Cafe on a good run, she's just like, I feel like being sleep deprived. Like, it feels like Cafe is me. Like, very rarely do I get a full good-ass nights of sleep. And most of the time, I'm coming out feeling like shit. And I'm just like, is Cafe just me? It's because you don't give her coffee. Bro, she can have all the coffee she wants. I'll buy her coffee in real life, man. Why does she keep doing this? Had lobbies earlier, some guy rolled up with 12-12 gut speed tachyon. That sounds like a Pete frontrunner build. Between Arya and then Bihua, mostly play aggro. Who would you recommend? Either one. It doesn't really matter. I think for aggro, both are pretty inconsequential most of the time. I think you'll probably end up using Bihua a bit more. But if they're in the same tier, it doesn't really matter. I play every style. That's exactly what I mean, right? Think about what I said. And process that with... Think about what I said, right? Do you want to play faster, in which case you pick up SPP? Do you want to play slower, in which case you pick up Harsetti, right? You could pick either one and it doesn't matter. Like, you would just be building your account to play either slightly faster or slightly slower. Like, that's literally exactly what I mean. Hwa-Young seems better. I would say Hwa-Young is better, except Arya is very helpful if, she's better if you end up playing Freerun more. She kind of has a lot of inherent synergy with Freerun, where if Freerun takes fucking any attack, she just goes Divine Vessel, right? But a lot of time, Divine Vessel is pretty fake. So it really depends on how much value you can get out of that. Disciplinary Prefect Arya is good because she's one of the few characters in a Bellion pre-ban world can block out ML Ludwig against Briar Witch Cleave, which is very popular, since the latter half of last season. And that's about to become even more popular because Revive players are going to be banning Hecate instead of Briar Witch, and Briar Witch is going to be very available, as a Cleave initiator. Yeah, I mean, waiting for it is never bad, especially because the event's going to take you like a month to do. So you can just kind of like sit tight and see how the meta develops. Like, as an aggro player, which one of these you pick up really depends on if you end up on the faster side of the draft or the slower side of the draft. I think if you go faster, it's Bihua. If you go slower, it's very, very likely Arya. A lot of people think, like, Bihua is a very defensive unit because, what happens is, like, your team gets hit and then she activates. But that's never actually that realistic because if you're playing defensive and then she goes, either they're playing Ahmed and the skill nullifier just completely shrugs off Divine Vessel, or, they're playing Briar Witch, in which case they're playing multiple Immortality units and Divine Vessel doesn't matter. What she's a lot better for is if you are playing aggro into a slower player, you're going to want to be able to pick her up to combo off of your Freerun for counterattacks, or you are looking to proactively kick a G. Ross, Mei Chloe, or Ruel. With souls, of course. Like that's the most realistic application of Bihua, and then Arya is when you're defending versus Ludwig. I'm just grabbing C. Lilius and moving on? Yeah, that's a very strong character. Yeah, that's pretty much like how you look at Headhunt, like, in all ways, guys. This is literally, you just open up the PvP tier list, just click the first thing you don't have. It ain't that deep. Yeah, the game is very deep, but a lot of times, if you have the access to the right information and the right content, the decision-making process isn't that deep. We get Tachyon Lab in spring 2026. Is the Tachyon Lab the thing that lets you level up your, like, your 1-star sparks to, like, 3 stars or some shit? Oh, it's a reroll, it's not a level up. Yeah, but I'm just gonna hit, you know? I'm just gonna hit the 3-star. All good. I want one Malona so bad, but I think I'm gonna go with ML Payra Ilanav. See, what you're asking here isn't what unit I should be taking. What you're actually asking is you're not asking me for anything. What you should be doing is you ask yourself, what kind of player am I? Am I a player who, you know, I don't play that seriously, so what I will find more enjoyment in is playing the characters I do like and playing my waifus? Am I that kind of player? Or am I a type of player where I don't care what I play, I just want to win, 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 win? And if you want to win, then you should just take a Ruel. Right? See, simple process. Oh, God. I really don't want to propagate this, but, like, guys, Is it not just like if you want to win, you pick Ruel and you play Ruel Setsuka every single game? Just be a fucking degenerate. We have a headhunt? Yeah. Creating more Ruel players, stop, please. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to people. I think if you are a new player and you're just trying to win, like, and you're being unit gapped, you're being gear gapped, you're being skill gapped, the easiest way to overcome all three of these is to just play Ruel and play Setsuka. That gives you the highest amount of RNG to basically be able to cheat out against any unit gap and mechanics gap. All you have to do is ban Briarwitch and ban Hecate, and you just spam this all the fucking way. Run it the fuck down. Right? It's no longer up to skill whether or not you win. You're playing two of the most, like, high roll, low roll win conditions in the entire fucking existence. What's variety today? I'm not in charge of variety today. I'm sending you guys somewhere else for variety. Use the panic Setsuka button? Yeah. I mean, if you're getting cleaved, I think Setsuka is a lot more reasonable. But when people are, like, playing against turn 2 players and they're slamming Setsuka Ruel because you can't think of anything better to draft and you just want something that can give you RNG to buy you time and potentially let you RNG somebody for the win, like, that's just what you do. It's like the same shit as, like, dudes in Pokemon when they, like, carry an extra metronome, or if they carry, like, fucking Rock Slide to flinch people, right? Like, if you can't think of a better skill to carry or a better character to, like, carry you to the win, it is Ruel Setsuka. I'm not gonna lie to people. I think it's fucking cringe. I think anybody with a working brain and a built account shouldn't rely on Ruel Setsuka. But I would say, like, 1 out of every 20 games, even for me, if I'm getting cleaved and I can't think of, like, a direct counter, I'm like, alright guys, look, I swear, this is the only time I'm doing this today, but I'm gonna click Ruel, I'm gonna click Setsuka, and hopefully my opponent fumbles, right? And I hope he doesn't get lucky. And it happens sometimes. Slam a bright powder on your Mon and pray, God. Yeah, look, Anu, is that not the same thing as Amiki? You know, Amiki-chan, save us! Setsuka-chan, save us! It's the same fucking shit! Ruel Setsuka protects that Landy is win? No, in most cases, unless you're specifically against Witch and heavy debuffs, it's not bad. Like, Empyrean's still the better character. Like, that's all I'm gonna say, guys. Like, for as much as I like shit on it, like, if you do not have characters, you do not have gear, and you just don't want to fucking use your brain, okay? Ruel Setsuka, if you're lucky enough, you'll beat anybody doing anything. It doesn't matter. It's just cringe like that. Like, I think in a perfect world, a strategy game, right, should not have a combination of units that are about that. But obviously, we don't live in a perfect world, right? Obviously, we live in a universe where the most powerful country in the world has a president that's just an orange man. He's an angry orange man, and his best friend is a rocket man, right? So you know we don't live in a perfect world. And it is what it is. Epic 7 is perfect. You take that back. Yeah, man, make me. Make me. Now, I wish we lived in a perfect world. In a perfect world in Epic 7, Green Landy would be a perfectly fine character today, okay? I don't think she would be OP, but I think she'd be perfectly fine. Hey, what's up, Vic? How you doing? What are you up to today? And also, how's your team looking? What are you boys prepping? And if I could trouble you, if you have like a group chat set up with your boys, can you guys talk about what format for the final tournament you guys want to play? Free coaching Fridays is fucking good to hear. I wake up at 5 a.m. Hey Vic, I do that too now. Bro, I break my sleep schedule. So I stayed up all day one day. I did a full reset, and now I just knock out at 10. I can't even stay up past 10, and I wake up every day at 5. It's so fucked up, bro. Wait, you're also... Bro, we got that grandpa sleep cycle. Nah, it's so disturbing. It's so over, man. I used to sleep from 5 a.m. to noon. That was my sleep cycle. Because I work with people in China. Now it's like, I just get whatever work I can done, and I leave them a message. I'm like, I'll work on this shit when I wake up. And I knock the fuck out. Joining the Discord, I'll make you. No, stop! E7 was perfect the first 2 years. I'm gonna say this right now. I think anybody who thinks E7 is perfect in the first 2 years is maximum coping. There's no way you're saying that, bro. First 2 years? If you didn't own MLK in the first 2 years, you were not a real person. When I played against MLK, the first 4 months of the game, it felt like I didn't even have fucking human rights, bro. And then when RB got buffed, brother, MLK, no RB, it felt like I was played with my hands tied like this every single fucking game. I could not do shit. Okay? It was so bad when you didn't have RB, you didn't have MLK, you couldn't do anything. And then you know what else they put out? You know what was their answer to that shit? Red motherfucking Corvus, dude. I did not want to build this ugly ass, old ass, crusty ass fuck. Okay? But like, I did it. So I played the entire first like 6 months of the game with no MLK, no RB, no Red Corvus. Dude, I had to do so many things to try to win. You know who saved me, dude? To this day, she's still one of my goats. A character that beats all 3 of these fuckers. Seaside Bologna. That was my goat, guys. Seaside Bologna came, I knew my opportunity was here. That was the first time where I'm like, wait a minute. I can get this character, and she beats RB, she beats Corvus, and she beats MLK. Holy fuck, that is not real. I'm in Champ Select. Dude, you've been really grinding League. That shit is crazy. That was good time, only men time. I mean, I guess if you like male characters, that's fair, right? Red Corvus, yeah. That was the time where Red Corvus got nerfed, RB got nerfed. They didn't touch Ken, though, which is kind of cool. Go to sleep at 23, wake up before 7. That sounds pretty healthy. I wanna be able to wake up at 7, but for some reason I'm waking up at 5 every day. It's just so fucking weird. Hit live Chungus, see you clap noob cheeks. Wait, Vic, are you just smurfing in Southeast Asia for League? Is that what it is? Wife sleeping. Oh shit, that's wife now. Oh dude, congrats. I remember when that was fiance. And I remember there was a period before that when you introduced me and you're like, hey Valky, this is my friend. And he said exactly like that, guys. When he was introducing her to me, like in person, he was like, this is my looks around friend. And he says it like that. And I'm like, I see. You're a friend, huh? Nice to meet you, Vic's friend. Good save. Okay, wait. What happened? Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, you just transfer your account over. I guess you're just smurfing over there. It is what it is. Yeah, the friend arc was crazy. I'm like, I guess it must be complicated. Shit, bro. I just call her friend or bro. That's the same thing as mine. Like, I just call her, like, my brother. Cause, okay. I'm too awkward around girls. Whenever I'm with my girlfriend, I have to call her brother or bro. Cause if I, at some point, realize that's a real woman that I'm, like, physically being near, it gets too weird for me. I can't think that. So I just have to pretend like I'm a really gay guy and my girlfriend is my bro. I don't know, bro. I think I'm, like, stuck with this build path. It's too fucking weird for me to, like, it's too late to go back. You guys feel me? AT says partner a lot. It's rubbing to me. The craziest thing was this one. Okay, here's a story about AT and his partner. This one time, AT was, like, asking us how to play CZN, and you hear her in the back. And I forget what she says. But, Carrie was like, Xarian was like, shit, AT is your partner, the Vietnamese. Cause she sounds very Vietnamese. And we fucking just lose it in the call, bro. And like, that's just how it is, right? My friend calls his GF babe all the time. I can't do that. I have to go with brother. Which is very weird because I actually have a brother and I don't call him that. I don't know, man. I think I have, like, my pronouns giga reversed. Like, the LGBT crowd must fucking hate me, bro. I don't have a single pronoun correct. Or noun. I don't call my brother by name or bro. DJ Eskimos, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the community and welcome to one of the more interesting topics we're on now that we finished our tier listing. So, I don't know how many, like, Asian languages this is applicable to, right? So, I have a younger brother, right? I have a little brother. He's, like, 13 years younger than me. So, it's really weird. I'm more like of an unk to him than I am his brother. So, in Chinese, right, which is the primary language we communicate in, there's two words for brother, right? In English, it's just brother, and it applies to older and younger brothers. So, in Chinese, there's a word for older brother, which is ge, and then there's a word for younger brother, which is di, right? And it's, like, very specific to if you're older brother, then, you know, ge, and then younger brother, di. Bro, my younger brother, I call him big bro. I don't know what it is. He calls me big bro, I call him big bro. And, I first did it as, like, a joke, and I think it stuck. And I've never called him D, which is younger brother. And I tried calling him that one time, and it sounded so fucking weird, I've never gone back to it. Never, ever. I'm like, no, that was so fucking awkward. I'm never doing that again. I'm just calling him big bro. So my younger brother, who I'm older by 13 years, and vibe-wise, I'm more like his actual uncle, I call him big bro. I don't know, man. Everything is fucked. Everything is fucked. Introducing must be weird. No, I just refer to him by his actual name. I remember I have a math test on trigonometry tomorrow. Who cares about that? No, you should study. Trig is like, you think it's hard, but once you, like, get into it, it's... Okay, you know what studying trig is like? I can't believe I'm making this comparison. Studying trig is like playing Orlea in Chaos Zero Nightmare. If you just watch someone else do it, you have no idea what the fuck it is. And if you try to do it yourself, it's so fucking confusing. But the moment you successfully do it one time, you're like, oh, I think I get it. And it's really never hard after that. I'm the oldest, so everyone in my main family calls me good. Yeah, same here, man. But I also call them that as well. I call every single one of my cousins that. That's just like my favorite thing to call people, period. I call my mom that sometimes, and she gets really annoyed. Because Chinese is one of those cultures where Like, the generational gap needs to be respected. So I call my mom that sometimes. I call my mom bro sometimes. My mom's like, who the fuck's your bro? Shut up. I appreciate the Orlea agenda. No, that's just how it is, man. Like, if you know me long enough, you guys have to notice this at this point. I have a bunch of, like, little ticks in my brain that builds a system, and that I use the system to learn other systems, right? I learned Orlea the exact same way I learned Trig, which is, like, it looked really complicated until I successfully do it one time, right? It's got a high skill floor and not that much of a ceiling after the floor. All right, once you learn it, once you pick it up, it becomes pretty easy and becomes pretty smooth. I call both my parents bro, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think it keeps us pretty close. And also, I'm just a fucking weirdo, right? So I'm okay with it. Like, I live with it. Guys, I'm self-aware enough to know that I am a fucking weirdo. I'm never gonna pretend like I'm anything else. Do you think any of Orlea's egos are worth getting? I think 4 is really good. But, like, obviously it's just, you get it if you get it, right? I feel like you are either a player where, you know, you spend whatever, spend on whatever packs you want, and if you get it, you get it. Or you're gonna spend so much money anyways, you're probably hitting it anyway. Right? There's no in between. Well, you're telling me as I should swipe on CZN to pull Orlea to prepare for the test. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. If you're young enough to be learning Trig and you have enough money to swipe on gacha games, I'm gonna be honest, it probably doesn't fucking matter if you learn Trig or not. Your life is probably in a good fucking spot anyway, okay? And if your life relies on you to learn trigonometry to be able to get a good job and have a good life, you probably shouldn't be spending on gacha games anyway, you know? It's a pretty simple system, right? I make life as simple as possible, and that's just how I live. Bro's a human computer. I think I'm just like a human contradiction generator. 9 to 5 Twitch business. You know, now that I think about it, isn't that what I've been kind of doing? I've been kind of doing a 9 to 5. I would stream around 9, maybe a little bit earlier the last couple of days. I would finish around 3, and I would start doing some like back-end YouTube shit. I would write some videos, record some videos till about 5, make my dinner, I don't fuck off. When I'm high school, my allowance is $2 per day. So when I was in high school, my family has this business, and I was actually helping them sell stuff on Amazon. Let's just say I had enough money to buy all the skins I wanted in League of Legends. And I had enough money to play, it was Brave Frontier at the time. And Brave Frontier was honestly kind of a cheap gacha game. If you got every character, unless you were super unlucky, it was like $100 to $200 per month. You could get every character. But the issue with that game was the power creep was so bad, every single month you had to summon a new wave of characters. And if you didn't have it, your account was just not relevant for that month. And it was kind of annoying. I think like E7, a game where they buff 7-year-old characters to be relevant, somehow I'm spending more money. Well, back when I did spend, I would spend more money. Yeah, that's so fucking weird, isn't it? Avon? Yeah, Avon was the only character who was able to survive his release month. And I think he was good for about like 4 to 6 months after that. That was like the one exception, man. They don't know power creep until you play Brave Frontier. Bro, every single month, holy fuck, you had to summon for 6 new characters for every element, man. And if you didn't do it, you were just... It felt so shit to play that month. You had to break out of that cycle. I'm treating CZN like E7. Kind of expect to have every character eventually. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. I think if you... I think the way Smilegate designs their game, right? For all of their faults...
Hi, honey.
Smilegate is very good at, like... If you were completely free to play, but you were very tapped into the content, and you know which character was good, and you know how to, like... kind of work your way into that banner and save resources, you could be free to play and be very, very relevant. N1G Maddox, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream, man. Yeah, or if you were a super whale, you felt pretty good about, like, just, like, slamming summon on everything and just picking up whatever you got. It allows for a very wide range of spending. So, like, whales feel good about being whales in E7, and free-to-play feel pretty good about being free-to-play. The only people that I think eat shit in E7 is if you're completely free-to-play and you have no self-control. If you are completely free-to-play in E7 and you have terrible self-control, it probably feels like a terrible game. Good save? Alvi, I've been doing this for like 4 years, man. You have to assume I have a base level of skill when it comes to not getting shot on Twitch.tv. If I could hold myself back from saying the Discord-only words, I can find my way out of these. It's like a lethal puzzle, except I have to solve it in reverse. And it's only lethal for me. Getting to champ 1 by making a tiny effort, I feel pretty happy. I'm FTP. Yeah, no, that's good, dude. I think E7 is a game that definitely allows for that level of skill expression, where if you're completely free to play, but your self-control is good, you will feel very good about what you do. I mean, if you look at, like, the RTA Hall of Fame, right? It doesn't happen super often. But if you looked at it, Tetsu is, like, very, very low spending, and I think he's a relatively new player. Lifton was, I think, like, rank 4 this season, and I think he was also rank 4 or 5 this season. Lifton's completely free to play. That guy's a crackhead. He's just good at the game. And, oh yeah, he was also rank 4 this season, I believe. Like, for him to be able to be up here with dudes who have millions of dollars spent on their account, that shit is impressive. Lifted. Yeah, he's the fucking ton, bro. E7's one of those games where you need to have very high temper. You just have to have good patience, like, know what you're doing, and, like, skill really carries the game. I play a bit of every season, get my skin and dip. Yeah, I think if you're just trying to play to... It doesn't fucking show in preseason. I guess in one day we'll have this. If you're just trying to get the skin every season, I think you could do it with like a 2-month-old account if you know what you're doing.
These waves are relentless.
Yeah, I think this season, though, I mean, depending on who you are, right? I want to say for some people, there's so much RNG in the game that either you're expecting to win and you don't win and it's very disappointing and it sucks, or the RNG is a tool for you as a newer player to kind of overcome a lot of veteran players who are inevitably going to gap you in both gear, character, and experience. And the RNG feels good, right? I understand that. I'm gonna bitch about it, though. Especially if I get RNG. I'm curious how far I can get, honestly. See, that's what I thought during COVID. When COVID hit, right? And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna be unemployed soon. Man, I can't spend on Epic 7 anymore. I went, like, close to free-to-play, pretty much right around when I started streaming. Before that, I was spending, like, a couple $100 a month, because I just had disposable, right? I like spending money on hobbies, right? I think it's just fun to spend money. So, I was like, man, I really want to learn RTA. I think at the time, guys, there was, if you typed how to play RTA or RTA guide into YouTube, there were legitimately only 2 videos that taught you how to play RTA. One was by Dr. Squirrel, and one was by Mace1370. And that was it. There was no other RTA content on all of YouTube. It was so fucking rough. You can get there in a week, or you can get there in 6 months or more. I think if you're trying to get there in Masters, you reasonably should expect to be able to get there in about 2 to 3 months. if you're going for champ, I think for most people, if you're like trying to go for it as a goal, I think it's about 6 months. What happened to the squirrel guy? Anyone know? I think he just like lost interest in the game over time. That's a normal thing. I mean, if I were to be honest, like with Setsuka Ruel being like a meta strategy for a lot of people, I'm slowly starting to lose interest. Like, if you see me completely stop making E7 video next year, don't be too surprised. That's just how it is, right? Like, the game is going in a direction that I no longer enjoy the same amount. Right? Back versus, like, when, So, I really like the game. Like, I really like the game. During standard metas, right? So for anybody who's not familiar with what a standard meta is, wait, let me find it on this browser. Epic 7 standard cheat sheet. You could watch this video where I talk about the draft. You could watch this short where I talk about the draft. You could watch... Wow, where the fuck is my standard cheat sheet? What the hell? Armradell, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Where's my standard cheat sheet? It's right around, should be right around here. I can't find my fucking videos. Did I not name it that? Am I fucking stupid? Must know format? Yeah, this one? Oh my god. I don't have premium on this one. Setsuka is an awful addition to the game. Like I said earlier, I think that's a fair take, and I can't disagree with it, right? Obviously, I don't like Setsuka because it makes the game more RNG. But if you're a newer player trying to beat Valky, right? And you didn't have my level of gear, you didn't have the amount of units I have, I understand if you like Setsuka, but I personally hate it, right? Dr. Squirrel was a beast, he just said F Epic 7? Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty sure he enjoyed a older metagame before I was a content creator, right? That's why he made the content, he made the guides. I'm salivating at the prospect of Hecate being good so I can blow out the water Ruel scales. Let me temper your expectations, okay? This is what's gonna happen. Every single Ruel Setsuka player is gonna ban Hecate, ban Briarwitch, and do the same fucking bullshit. So, this is a standard meta. Back when Tori first got into the game was fucking awesome, right? And what a standard meta means is the units are relatively balanced in such a way where the 3 strongest characters in the game will form a trifecta, okay? It's like a rock, paper, scissor, okay? And they all beat each other. So for this metagame, Tori will lose to Bellion, Bellion will lose to Abyssal Euthine, and Abyssal Euthine will lose to Tori. And that's just, it goes in, it's a cyclical way of being able to create strategies where you can outsmart and beat your opponents. My favorite one was Greenlandy versus Carrot versus Spectre Tenebria. And it was like, Greenlandy would beat Spectre Tenebria because it was too much damage. Carrot would beat Greenlandy because red versus green AoE. And then Spectre Tenebria, who was built on lifesteal at the time, would be able to beat Carrot all the time. And then that eventually evolved into Greenlandy versus Archdemon versus like Rem. Something like that. And that was like the last time I truly thought like, damn, this was a good fucking game. Because after that, what happened? The Huayang meta, the 7 Great Disasters meta, the reset meta between Lua and Nakwal in Season 9 and onwards, right? Like, the game just kind of went in a direction where the game was more about playing these OP-ass characters, right? It's about, like, if you look at the current way RTA is balanced, you do your pre-bans, your opponent do their pre-bans, he takes his OP units, you take your OP units, and the person who generally gets more OP units and builds better around their own OP units will win, no matter what. And it's just about knowing what OP units are actually good, which units are actually the OPs, and how to team build around them. Was that an old image? No, man, this was 8 months ago. This was 8 months ago. This was during Tory meta. Tory meta was super balanced. You guys remember that? Yeah, it's not that old. Karina was really good during Tory meta. Tory meta was the last time I really, really enjoyed the game. Damn, like 20 years ago. Yeah, dude, you got me. Yeah, I think Tory meta was very fun. That was... Balanced meta is like this. Balanced meta rewards having a deeper hero pool, and it rewards having good strategy, right? I think OP meta rewards, like, having good gear, and it rewards, basically, you being willing to play through RNG, right? Which is kind of why I don't enjoy this metagame as much. Remember balance? I would say 8 months ago, the game was very balanced. This was, like, a very good meta. It's like a balanced ML Payra. No. So ML Payra, if you remember, ML Payra into ML Lua was Giga OP, and then Tori came out. And because Tori for the first turn was immune to debuffs, and if you had a protection set on her, she was so fucking safe. It was like impossible for debuff units to do anything to Tori. It was a really, really good time to play RTA. That was such a fun meta. I forget what I did, but I actually kind of regretted not climbing for Legend that season, because that was the last time I really had fun. For like the next 8 months, it's not like I don't have fun, right? Obviously, I like playing Boss Arunka, I like playing Renak, but you have to be able to recognize, like, if I'm beating my opponents with Boss Arunka and Renak, it's probably because I got first pick, and not because I somehow outskilled my opponent. But like, these matches, you were outskilling your opponents. Bro, you don't pay me. You don't pay me to show this shit. Move. Oh my god. There's a second ad? Damn, is this what you guys have to go through to watch my fucking videos when you don't have premium? This is some dog shit. Wow, man, this was so shit. Yeah, how did I think this was a good idea for a video? I need a better way of presentation. This was not it, man. Wow, what the fuck? That's crazy. Imagine not having premium? I imagine premium's kind of expensive if you don't make, like, American dollars. I don't remember this. Yeah, this was, like, you could spread... Okay, the bad thing in a lot of people's arguments against, like, these balanced metas is it's very solvable if you spreadsheet and flowchart out all the strategic and pivot options. Like, this was, like, if you had a different opener... If you only own one of these, this is what you were good at, this is what you were bad at, this is like what you could play, this is what combinations you had. I could reasonably spreadsheet everything and explain to a new player very quickly how to clear a meta. Once you go premium, you never go back. Yeah. I have premium on my personal account. This is just my YouTube, this is my tuber account. You use YouTube Music instead of Spotify? Yes, sir. Guess where I have all of my playlists saved. Like, I use YouTube Music for tournaments, for everything. It's also very easy to, like, make these playlists for tournaments. The worse your country, the less ads you get. Oh, I guess it's just not necessary to have premium for that, then. Shit. Yeah, because I imagine, like, for most people, if you make some US American dollars, like, you probably don't really mind, like, the... Okay, if you buy premium for yourself, is it $10 now? It used to be $5. But I still, me and my friends have a family account where it's like, bro, it's $15 a month. And I pay them $3, you know? So this was like, we've been doing this since college. I saw a third ad in my whole life. Damn. That's crazy. But yeah, like, this was like, I don't know, I thought this was a very fun season, because it felt like a very intricate puzzle game that you eventually had to solve, you know? Is YouTube music good? I think it's good because you have literally all the music. Damn, bro, I lost to a Skizu, I lost to Kukurbat. I was kind of farming everybody else, though. You really saw a hierarchy that better players could very consistently beat players that were worse than them. That was a very cool time. I will say. Yeah, it has everything. Anything that's on YouTube is on YouTube Music. That's what I like it for. I remember parts of the Laya meta was pretty good. Okay, I'm gonna say this, boys. And you know, you feel free to, like, disagree with me, right? You can disagree with me and I can disagree with you, okay? The Laya meta was fucking dog shit. The best part about the Laya meta... The best part about the Laya meta was when it died, Genua was the best character, because that motherfucker was fun. Genua was so much fun to play. And if you were ever felt oppressed by the Laya meta... The funnest part about the Laya meta was watching it die because Genua was cleaning her ass cheeks out. That sounded so sus, and I don't care. I didn't get him when he... Bro, I thought he was bad. Okay, so you guys know this about me. I only stream day one characters if I think they're gonna be good. I fucked off to play TFT with my boys, man. I didn't think he was gonna be good. I went online the next day, I was playing games, dude were first picking Genua, and I was getting rinsed. Yeah, that was the biggest fumble I've ever had. Like, I'm generally correct about characters, right? I would say, I think out of all players, I think, right, there could be somebody else. Like, I'm genuinely correct about my first impression of characters. Genua, I was so fucking wrong about. I skipped Genua. This was, not only was he good, he also ended up being one of my favorite characters in the game. Did you get ML Surin? No, I don't think she'll be good. In the case, yes, how did it feel? I'm sure it would have felt terrible. Here, let me show you my source for that. Let me cite you a source. Where is it? Here's my boy Vic. Go follow Vic on YouTube. ML Soren RTA debut. I played Sealed Eye Soren for 6 hours and lost my sanity. I saw that, I'm like, good. Glad I didn't bother streaming. Yeah, here. I'll link you the video. This is my source. He died in 100 different ways. Okay, guys. What's the fucking difference? Somebody explain this to me. What's the fucking difference between Surin and Carrot? Besides the fact that Surin can conditionally shrug off, can conditionally ignore resistance. I saw the kid, I'm like, are they really that different? Isn't this just like Carrot, but maybe slightly better? Yeah, I was like, this is the same shit. That's it. The video's the next one on the list while I work. Saw you live, prioritize you. Aw, thanks, man. Surin only has more CR push. Yeah, and then Carrot is way better survivability, right? What the fuck? Why does it do that? Oh, man. Can I bring it back to life? Or is it dead? Alright, I think it's dead for now. Maybe I can bring it back in like 5 minutes or something. Cope free ring counter? Well, I mean, I think she's an okay free ring counter. But you know what else you can just play? Carrot. Guys, you guys remember the one time I played Carrot and we won? Okay, also guys, keep in mind, the one time I farmed a free rim player, This thing procced and it let us win. Okay? So, you know, anything can fucking happen, okay? But yeah, look, if Carrot is like a sometimes playable character, and Surin is maybe about the same as Carrot's power level, maybe conditionally just a little bit stronger, what's the real difference between Surin and Carrot, man? Freewind would blow up Dark Surin before she does anything? I mean, I assume so. Like, I feel like you either have to play Sea Phantom, or you have to play Hellion Lua, right? To make it work. Like, if Kara sometimes work, I'm sure Surin sometimes work. But it's not one of those characters you really want to rely on all the damn time. I got Smoke Guild Wars of Counter Carrot with Fern Artifact. I got PTSD. You guys know, back when Green Landy was a very relevant meta character, dude, Carrot terrorized me. Because I love spamming Green Landy. And let's just say I lost so many games to Carrot. I fucking hate Carrot to this day, man. But we did get that one win, and that's it. ML Carrot when? Maybe ask Lionheart Sermia. So I don't know how many of you guys actually know this. Because this is like fucking old lore. Carrot is actually Sermia's sister. You guys remember this? I remember this was very relevant when Sermia came out. It was Carrot's sister. And Carrot is actually the responsible one because Sermia would be gambling all her fucking money away. And Carrot is supposed to be the one that takes her money and keeps it safe for her. I feel like this is lore that nobody knows about at this point. That shit was like so important when Sermia first came out. Yes, and Sermia is the older sister. Yeah, if you're looking for ML Carrot, I don't know. You gotta bark up Lionheart Sermia's tree. Dude, people love Sermia, man. She was a Gamba addict. Like, how do you not like that as a gacha game player? You're like, wow, that was one of me. This is peak old head knowledge. It's kind of true. What? Okay, guys, what else do you think was kind of peak old head knowledge? Aether is Dian's son. I feel like they kind of tell you about that one in like the first 5 minutes of the story though. Even for like a story skipper. Like I skip all the story and I knew about that one because that was in the first 5 minutes before I'm like, okay, they lost me. I'm skipping everything. Silk is Basar's adopted daughter. Yeah, I thought that was Rin. Because I remember this, because back in the days, if you guys remember, Jello was a Rin main. Like, Jello, as a counterattack player, was a Rin main, and I remember this, dude. That shit would terrorize me every time I fucking ran into it. It's one of them. It's fine. It's like irrelevant 4-star characters. I don't know how Jello played fucking Rin back in the day, man. Because she gives 2 random buffs. But Basar was a meta character, so whenever you would buff up... I don't know, bro. I feel like Basar just stripped all your buffs. It fucking sucked. The random Rin picks? Yeah, Jello was a very big Rin spammer, but when, I think it was when Make Chloe got buffed, Jello kind of hopped off that train. Oh, we're back. Fire. I remember when a guy told me to play Tywin with Basar as opener. Yeah. I think that was a YD comp. Like, Basar would soul burn and push everything back, and then Tywin would just defense break everything. And if you had another book, it gave Tywin an extra turn, in which then Tywin can use to attack buff and CR push something. That was a very relevant combo. I think we're more likely to get ML more than ML Care. When's the last time we got a 3-star version of a ML character? Oh, rejoice the day they make a... Okay, you guys know what fucks me up? Okay. I don't actually know how many people know this. You guys keep talking about Coley, right? Where is this? I need to find the website. Do you guys know Coley's full name? First person to drop Coley's full name on me. So there's this Korean website I use for all the assets because they killed E7 Vault, yeah? Where is Coley? Coley is in Rogue. And I remember I was looking up the image for one of the characters. I'm a fake fan. I actually know this, and it fucking hit me like a goddamn truck, okay? Where is the name? She has a full name. It's actually a pretty cool name, but I think they copied it out of Harry Potter. Her full name is Nicolette Fleur. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, it's Nicolette Fleur. Yes, it's Nicolette Fleur, and I'm fairly sure... Guys, do you guys remember in book 4 of Harry Potter, the Goblet of Fire, when they had like the Tri-Wizard Cup, the all-girls school from France, wasn't one of their characters called Nicolette Fleur? Right? Am I fucking taking crazy pills? Right? It's Nicolette Fleur. It's a fucking like, dude, my deep memory got activated. There were so many things. I'm like, oh my god. And I was looking at this, and it's like Alexa Lovelace, Penelope Trabanti, and I'm like, holy fuck. That's right. A lot of these characters have some crazy ass names. Oh, it's Fleur Delacour. Okay, shit. Okay, maybe I was confusing them. When you get her from the summons, the first time you summon her? Wait, really? She says that? Oh. It's Fleur Delacour from Beauxbaton. Right. Holy shit, man. It's really activating my my deep memories. Silver Tsunami Huayang. Oh yeah, Alexa Lovelace is another one. I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of E7 characters sound like Harry Potter characters. Anyone else? Corinne Pandataria and Celine Carinimo. Says Guyan. I feel like any one of these could just be a Harry Potter character, no? Schneel Baroa Zabronto? Where are you getting this, dude? This shit is crazy. Let's see. Let's see if they have this here. Yeah, Schneel Baroa Zabronto. Yeah. Holy fuck. Frida Pultz. Where do they ever... Okay, to be fair, I skip like all of story. Right? Katie's La Larunda. Holy fuck, man. Lots Greenwood. Okay, to be fair. Lots Greenwood. Yeah, okay, like, I'm not surprised that's his fucking name, you know? What's the site? I'll just link you. This is, I don't know. Don't let it get around too much, man. They already killed E7 Vault. I need this shit. Otherwise, man, my video thumbnails are gonna fucking die. Yeah, this is what I've been using in lieu of E7 Volt. Yeah, make sure you guys paste this if you guys are gonna use the link. Corvus Pastanor. He has the word pasta. Rowana. Oh yeah, that's right. Rowana is a lot more complicated in Asian languages. Montmorency Monza. Dude, it's not even Momo. It's Momomo. She has 3 Mo's in her name? That's fucking crazy. They call me Lots Bigwood? Yeah, bro, good for you, man. I'm Asian, so they call me Lots Tinywood. Not even Littlewood, bro. It's Tinywood. It is what it is. Okay, guys, this is what fucking confused me one day. Lots No Wood! Stop! Not Lots No Wood, bro. That's crazy. Okay, guys. Without context, if you know the right answer, don't say shit. Does anybody know who Libra is? That one fucked me up. I did not know who Libra was. And if you know the right answer, just say you know it, okay? But does anybody not know? You know, you want to take your best shot at it? You guys know who Libra is? This is an actual question. Any knowers for Libra? You guys are not gonna believe this, by the way, if you don't know. Yeah, if you know, shh. Hit you with a Justice Zang, okay? Don't have the slightest idea. You guys aren't gonna believe this shit. It's called Libra, but like, how do we have Lady of this? Like, just call her Libra, man. Just call her Libra, bro. Like, what are we doing, right? Isn't this crazy? Right? Like, Libra is supposed to be the Scales character. Like, that name makes so much sense. And then I started thinking about it, right? Okay, so if her name is supposed to be Libra, but she's a Taurus Soul Weaver, yeah, I think I'd make fun of the game developers too if they named her Libra, but she was a Taurus Soul Weaver. I was like, okay, maybe that's why they didn't call her Libra in English. Must be an OF girl? Oh yeah, bro, this is definitely an OF design. Oh, I hate the fucking constellations. Okay, I think the craziest part is... Where is this? I wonder if they still have this. Do you guys remember where they have these? Where sometimes it would say, like, character constellations don't reflect their actual constellations as far as their birthday goes, or something like that. Like, for every collab character, they needed to have that line somewhere. It's on Guilty Gear. I forget where it was on, man. But when they first had it, I was like, this is some bullshit. It's on GG units. Let's see if I have a Salt Bad Guy somewhere. Maybe I'll have a Jacko Valentine. Does it say it here? I don't think it says it anywhere anymore. It used to say, like, the characters' constellations don't reflect their actual birthdays. It's on the Awaken screen? Ah, yeah. A character's constellations and their real birthdays are not related. That's so lame. You could have just said, like, a character's constellation in Orbis does not correspond to their constellations from their home world or some shit like that. And I think I would have bought it. But, like, just to say they're not related seems so fucking low effort, bro. Like, just say it doesn't correspond to their home world constellations, man. It would have made canonical sense. It would have been fine. Yeah, like, what do you mean their real birthday? Like, did they know these are just characters? Yeah, just say, like, Orbis has different star signs and calendars, man. Like, bruh. I don't know, man. Who remembers the story of Kisei and Sigrid? If I remember correctly, Sigrid is supposed to be a clone homunculus from Kisei. I don't have Sigrid, because I killed every copy of my Sigrid for fun. I only have Kisei. You know how I knew that? You guys know how I know that? Obviously, I don't read the fucking story. But my friend who got me into the game was a big lore buff. And I remember that being a very, very, very big thing he was telling me about. He was like, oh, this... Oh, man, I'm doing him so dirty. I'm not going to name him. But he called this character Kais. And he said, Judge Kais. I'll leave you guys to determine what their ethnicity was, okay? I'm not gonna say anything else. If I say what I think, I'll be suspended 6 months. He was like, it's Kais and Judge Kais. I was like, oh, please, bro, stop saying that. This is not it, man. Oh, that was so painful. But he was like, yeah, Sigrid is a clone of Kais. They cloned her and used her to make a homunculus. I was like, oh, okay, bro, that's cool. He was a cool guy. He was very good with lore. He was my dungeon master for a short bit. I played a couple of D&D sessions with the man. Big fan of the guy still. How do you pronounce strays? From where I'm from, like even in Chinese, it's a strays. I'm not a Straze gang. Kisei is my actual mom. I'm happy for you, dude. Doing a Christmas D&D one-shot this weekend. Oh, nice. Are you playing or are you DMing? It's Kais, Mice, Rice, and Lice. Stop, dude. Stop, dude. Yeah, I'm not a Straze believer. Playing, my friend is DMing. Ooh, have fun, man. I think DMing is like, it's, you're doing God's work for no thanks, man. DMing is like the hardest thing I've ever fucking done. Holy fuck, man. Yeah, I feel like the old story has so much, like, lore and actual, like... It was really interesting. I don't know when, but... I guess I don't get to complain because I don't read story all that much. But at some point, maybe it's because when my DM stopped playing, he stopped spoon-feeding me the lore. I want to DM eventually. Here's my best advice for that. Do it now. It's the same thing as playing RTA, bro. You think the correct thing to do is to do it later when you're more experienced and when you're more mentally ready. But the best thing is just to do it now and see what you lack. Right? If you're too strict, you're too much of a rules lawyer, like take mental notes of that and it's something you fix along the way. You're never going to be perfect at it, just do it. TBH, you say haste, not hoste. Okay, but I think haste is like a word, you know? Strays and kisei aren't exactly words. I don't fucking know, man. Are you saying I need to start playing RTA ASAP? I think for a lot of people, you know, you guys know exactly who I'm talking about. The guys who are always like, oh, I think I'll go for Legend, or I'll go for Emperor, I'll go for Warlord next season. And the correct thing to do is always to start this season and see what you're doing wrong. Because what a lot of people like ignore is the value of experience in any given activity. Experience is like, for most people, the most valuable thing for any particular activity. And if you start sooner, yes, you'll be worse at it, but the experience will help you improve much faster than you watching your 30th here's how to DM something video. And I feel like every time you watch like this is what you, like 10 things to know before you start DMing. Like one of those videos, one of those tips should always be like, just do it. Just start soon, right? It's the same thing as like any RTA guide. Any RTA guide, one of the most common tips should always be just fucking do it. Just fucking play. And as you start losing some matches, you will have valuable experience that teach you how to do it better. It's this, playing RTA is the same thing as being a dungeon master. I started playing RTA my first month in my first season, I got Warlord. Okay, that's fucking impressive. That's fucking impressive, dude. First season, holy shit. Give me much more motivation to push further later. Wow. I think that's pretty hard. I would recommend, like, if you're new, right? And you did not want to get gear gapped or hero pool gapped, I would say 6 months is like a pretty fair starting time. If you're just trying to get the skin, you should be able to do that at 3 months or even 1 month, right? But that's going to be a little bit tougher, obviously. I think for a lot of people, and here's the thing, guys. It took me a while to figure this out, right? But I realized this. My content isn't made for people like my content isn't made for people who are like me, where I wake up and I'm going to spend 6 hours playing RTA. My content is made for people who are gonna wake up, but unlike me, they have a job, or they go to school, and then after they come back, they're like, okay, now tell me what you learned in the last 6 hours, right? That's what my content is made for. So, if I'm going to tell you, like, the most valuable thing is, like, yeah, you're not going to be able to skip the time investment that the experience will be able to earn you. I got Warlord in 4 months when I came back. Can say last season you need 8 units max. You know, one thing I will say is because I've been coaching some people lately, and I actually realized this. You guys know when you turn on the hero support system, they give you a free 31k HP 3F Bellion. Started playing RT after playing the game for 90 days and reach Warlord. Yeah, I think that's really good, and I think that's like a very underrated aspect of playing RTA, which is the experience is so valuable. My DMs in chat, how many times has your group made you crash out because they ignored the story to talk to some inconsequential NPC you didn't even give a name? I've DM'd one whole campaign, and my group did that 4 times in one campaign. Actually, no, I did two campaigns. I did a really long campaign, and I did a short campaign, like a one-shot. They did that 4 times in the long campaign, and they did that 2 times in the short campaign. They managed to do that 2 times in a one-shot, man. Like, I could crash out talking about that. Oh my god. I would like to get coached by you, Tristan Wolford, too. You guys seem legends in the game. I struggle with gear due to time constraints. That's understandable. I think that's just one of those things you gotta spend a little time with and just think about the numbers, and it should come pretty naturally. My last D&D session ended because the party wanted to strip and kill someone we knocked out. And that was for good alignment players. Oh no. Yeah, you guys know the support system is actually fucking nuts. They give you a free green Celine. Now, obviously, this isn't Moss Man Celine, which is 5k 300. But this is, like, good. They give you a 31k 3F Bellion. By the way, like, I don't know how many of you guys know this. They give you a 284 speed Guiding Light Lua. You get a 33k, Reflect EE Yoha for the free run. Like, all of these things solve different matchups in the game, by the way, guys. Bellion and Yoha just basically make free run a non-issue. This Tori's good enough to be picked versus literally any debuff opener. Ball is 262 speed, man. You could play this versus any ML Ludwig draft. The FCC is 32k with speed and ER. The AU Fiend is gonna be insane versus Ahmed. This is basically good versus anything that's a turtle. They have a 250 speed Crow as well. SSB is basically as good. Okay, to be fair, this SSB is a bit squishy, but it's all you need, right? Festive Ida, 24k HP. Like, what else do you need, you know? This one is, like, good versus Harsetti. I'm not gonna pretend like Bunny Dom is super good, but because this system is only available until champion rank. Versus any player who's lower than champion rank, this is basically by herself will stop any extra turn openers. This shit is very strong. And I think Green Celine, personally, I think in lower ranks, Green Celine and Red Lilius versus non-attacking, non-attack skill support openers, like that shit is as good as it gets. My group bothered NPC for 3 hours. My DM was so done. Yeah, that's the thing they don't tell you as in DM, is you have to deal with your player's bullshit. You know? I can hear streams, play games, and sit down and do hard numbers. I get 10 minutes if I'm lucky in a day. Yeah, that is kind of rough, right? But that's kind of like what Tristan and Sue make our content for, right? It's like guys who have to work all day. Right? You come home, you have like 10 minutes if you're lucky to play, So the content is geared towards getting you caught up on the experience, but you still have to solidify that experience by playing the matches yourself. You start learning how to get the group to move along with said NPC. Yeah, that's the part where like you eventually have to really pick up on, right? And I think in like my 2 sessions of really DMing, I didn't get to do that very well. With my guys, I think we did a 1-shot, and we did the first like 4 to 6 sessions of Curse of Strahd. That was a fucking fun one, but I think we eventually, like, people got jobs and we just couldn't line up sessions. D&D is a magical time where you're playing a game, but the game can be drunk. Yes. Keep in mind, nobody has to be drunk. But your players act like they're fucking drunk anyway. It just is what it is. Ace, hey, look. DM, look, if it means anything to you, as a RTA player, that's the exact same experience. I open a Tristan Wolf or a Mori video, I copy their team, and I hit the fucking auto button, and I just hope it goes well. Bro, as an RTA player, I can't be fucked learning Hall of Trials, man. I really want to get back into D&D. Yeah, I think that's the hard part, right? Is once you kind of lose the weekly setups, it's really hard to get the same, even if it's the same couple of people, to get back into it. When I play RTA, I get drunk by opponent moves. That happens a lot less often once you get higher ranks. It starts to make a bit more sense why they do what they do. Damn, we really don't like Hall of Trials. You know what's actually crazy is, shit. In CZN, Great Rift, people are farming their fucking minds out for the new leaderboard. I can't be fucked, man. It's just Hall of Trials. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I cannot fucking do it. You get me to do Nebula Distortion? Do I have CZN open? I don't. I can't be fucked, man. You get me to do Nebula Distortion? Sure, I can make that happen. You get me to do Great Rift? Nah, brother, fuck that. I am not doing that. Trying to start up D&D sessions again in January, hoping my players will be back for it. That's the thing. I think if you can even just get like 2 to 3 guys, you don't need the whole group. Just like kind of keep it going. And if you keep it going and your friend groups start talking about it, like the people who miss out, they're going to want back in anyway. I mean, I think Hall of Trials is kind of just all about... That's the thing about it, right? It's just a DPS check. It's not that interesting.
You're due for some punishment.
Ain't never touched that shit. I think I'll do it once for like a diamond badge. The diamond badge looks pretty cool. I might fight for one. But like, dude, I'm not farming perfect DPS bills for everything, man. Like, that just doesn't sound fun. Right? And once in a while, we'll have like somebody come into the stream and they'll be like, "Oh, you think Chizuru is a good unit? It's like that's nothing compared to Meilin or Tressa." Like, yeah, bro. And most people don't play Great Rift like that to give a shit, you know. And I feel like a lot of people miss out on that concept. It's like not everybody plays the game for Great Rift, because it's the same shit as Hall of Trials, man. It's a gear gap to show off? Not really. No, when you do stuff like Hall of Trials, what it actually is where's Hall of Trials? Hall of Trials is in Battle, I think. Seasonal. Yeah, like this is not about gear. You could do this with pretty scuffed gear. What this is all about tuning and setting it up so that you barely get the right RNG, you get the right dual attack hits, you get the right extra attack procs from it used to be Ret Surmia, right? I'm not sure what this one would be, but like, it's really just resetting it enough times and speed tuning your units just tight enough that you end up having like one extra hit worth 1,000,000 points. People get so serious and stressed out. Yes, People get so serious and stressed about leaderboards, they forget how to have fun. And it's a pretty big issue, I think, a lot of times in gacha games, because gacha games is a place where people spend money. And I think a lot of times when people spend money, they get into a headspace where they're like, okay, I spend this much money, and that means a lot. And now I need to have a leaderboard result to show for it. Right? I was kind of in a similar headspace as well, right? I was, at some point, I was like, if I don't get a legend frame with this shit, I think I would have wasted my money. But after I got the legend frame, I'm like, you know, the frames didn't really matter. Because these seasons where I was, like, really gunning for the legend, I was probably having the least amount of fun. I was having the most fun, like, right around here, and a little bit of here. This is where I was not having fun. And then after I stopped trying, I started having fun again, right? Around this area. And then through this, it was still decently fun, but here, right? This is where, like, the fun kind of stopped because the game is very RNG. They want to feel, yeah, because when you get a result, right? When you get a frame, an icon, whatever it is that's, like, exclusive, you feel like the money you spend is worth it, right? It's easier to mentally justify it. But I think as long as you're okay telling yourself, like, oh, that was fun. And I think as long as you can live with that, that's good. The CZN Reddit is mauling so much over the leaderboard. Dude, okay, so I'm looking in my guild, right? And people today were literally talking about how Asia was really shitting on Global because Asia hit 1 million points first, and they said Global was never gonna hit 1 million points. Bro, 1 million points is barely putting you on the leaderboard now for CZN's Great Rift. Like, it's getting too sweaty, man. People are finding barely enough text to squeeze in, like, an extra 10,000 points, an extra 50,000 points, man. It's like, that's too much. Think of the hydrate, Kurama. Diamond badge looks better than the master one anyway? Oh, I think that's what I'm going for. When you see it objectively, you are paying for digital crap. If it isn't making you enjoy the purchase or making the game more fun, yeah, I think so. As long as you can justify it to yourself that you're having fun, I think that's all you need. Speaking of which, I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow. And then after tomorrow, guys, for the rest of the year, from here till the end of the year, I'm like on vacation mode, okay? I'll stream if I have time, but in case I don't see you, there's one thing I really wanted to share with you guys. And you guys know every Friday, I've kind of been picking out one thing to share with you guys, right? And it's always been a pretty good time. Has anybody seen The Witcher Season 4? Do you guys know what I'm about to show you guys? Seems like you'll be nice company while I work through the holidays. Yeah, I'll try to put out some content, some you know, CZN guide and stuff, and they'll be scheduled to release, but don't expect me to stream regularly. I'll be back after January. Okay, perfect. So, The Witcher 4 is a fucking disaster. They killed Henry Cavill. Okay? Henry Cavill was like the one good actor holding the entire show together, okay? Congrats on the engagement. No. My girlfriend is going to be visiting me through Christmas, though, so I'll be pretty busy. But basically, what happened is, Witcher 4, trailer. So the problem with The Witcher 4 was after Henry Cavill left, right? They replaced him with Thor's little brother. It's not Thor. It's Thor's little brother. It's not Chris, whatever his last name is. It's Liam. Okay, now keep in mind, I feel very bad for him. Okay, because he has impossible shoes to fill. Not only is fucking Henry Cavill like one of the sexiest men on earth, and you have to fill his shoes, okay? Henry Cavill knew the Witcher lore inside and out. He read the books, he played the video games, he was a big fan of everything, right? He knew exactly what the role was about. Okay? Liam Hemsworth, yeah, that's the name. This is the one last thing I'm gonna share with you guys. Oh wait, I'm so fucking stupid. I forgot to turn off the screen. Here. I got one thing to share with you guys.
Geralt, you spent a lifetime battling monsters and men. Your entire being is dedicated to finding someone who you fear you failed. You're Ciri.
Always lost, never found.
She's not who she says she is.
None of us are.
We are joining.
Now, keep this in mind, guys. So, in the books, right, this entire book was about Geralt. Geralt could not find Ciri, and Geralt was just going on all kinds of misadventures and side quests trying to find Ciri, okay? What they did with the show is make it barely about Geralt. And they spent all of their time developing the female characters with their female writers and their female staff. And it's all about the ladies of the show, right?
Geralt across the continent to reclaim her.
What a company I've ended up with.
Yeah, and it's about, like, this crew of people Geralt has. And it's like these guys that are, some of them used to be villains, some of them used to be, like, Geralt's ops, right? And it's about how people can come together and unify under, you know, the idea of achieving one goal together, right? That was the message of the books.
Something is shifting on this continent.
But the problem with this season is they made it about Yennefer.
At the center of it.
Now, there's nothing wrong
She will be mine.
with Yennefer. But they kind of made it, first of all, it wasn't any part of the source material. The problem was, Yennefer and the Lodge of Sorceress are training to be good with swords. Now, I don't know why the fuck they would do that, because sorceresses in the Witcher universe is supposed to be so strong, they wave their hands and everybody fucking dies. Okay?
We need to save Ciri.
We are stronger together.
You'd abandon a life of peace to join me on a death march.
Until the day you die.
They also race swapped Regis to a black guy, which is fine. I'm personally fine with that because I think Lawrence Fishburne is a premium actor, and if you race swap anybody, and as long as they're a good ass actor and they do the role well, which I think Lawrence Fishburne carries the role really fucking well. That's fine, right? No problem. Yes, it's really hard to do what Henry Cavill's doing, and now they're really doing a lot of bullshit.
What if I can't save her?
Will humanity survive another day?
They start doing a lot of bullshit. If I got paid a few million to play George Washington in a movie, I do it. Same, bro. Yeah, if they paid me a lot of money to play Snoop Dogg in a movie, I do it. Would the movie be good? No, but I pocket my bag and I say fuck it. Exactly. That's understandable.
The Witcher is in a state.
Yeah, if you make a show called The Witcher and you make it about everything but, that's gonna be your problem, right?
Today we fight for our future! How will you be reborn?
The wig ain't doing anything? Oh no. Yeah, so it's not doing great, guys. Because it's not about that, right? And the part of the problem was, I'll show you guys the one good scene from this show, okay? If you've heard this discourse online, you know where I'm about to go with this, because it's too cool to not share with you guys, okay? So far, it's kind of been a joke. It's kind of been a meme, right? And the big thing is, Ciri is supposed to have this entire, like, upbringing arc, right? A coming-of-age arc, where she kind of spends time with some bad people, with some bandits. But instead, they ended up making these bandits like a Robin Hood crew of just these DEI diversity hires, okay? And I say this as a minority myself. Okay? You see this group, and they're terrible people. And they're trying to make them into like these like Robin Hood-like heroes. They even gave them a fucking movie all on their own on Netflix, okay? They gave them The Rats, A Witcher Tale. It's so fucking bad. Until they bring in this guy, okay? This is Leo Bonhart. I need you guys to pay attention to what this guy does and says, okay? Because he's supposed to be this, like, super hated villain, right? And when a day before they put out this episode, they're like, guys, tomorrow's release is going to be very emotional for the audience, okay? It's 1 minute. I'm just going to share this with you guys.
What the music?
My man's out here 1v7ing. Bro, like, this shit goes so hard.
It's all right. It's over.
Boy.
What was that?
Even he's confused. You had a whole sneak attack on the guy and you were screaming? Like, the fuck was that, man? What the actual fuck were you doing, bro? Like...
Pickled rats.
Boy. Keep your eyes on me.
He's supposed to be like a very hated character. But this guy ends up carrying the scene so well. And keep in mind, guys, his line right before he goes down the stairs was, "Oh, I'm obligated to let you know, if I bring you back alive, the bounty is higher. But I prefer we do this the hard way." And then one of them shoots a crossbow arrow at him. He goes, "Ah, yes, the hard way it is." And he's so fucking happy about it, right? He's supposed to be the bad guy. Guys, look at the fucking comments. I like how they call out each other's names as they die because the writers knew the audience wouldn't remember any of them. Book Leo, excellent villain. Show Leo, the real hero. The only scene you need to watch in the entire show, really. Netflix, this scene will be emotional for the audience. Audience, woohoo, do it again! Local heroes clean streets. We are all Leo Bonhart in this scene. Literally everyone hated the rats, man. How many times have you watched this? Yes. You could keep going, man. Actress playing Ciri? No. All of the Witcher's books and game fans? Yes. Like, that just shows, man. Like, try as you will to put out the bullshit, man. The good actors will be able to carry the content, and the show is gonna be fucking good. Anyways, guys, I am running a little bit late. That was the last thing I wanted to share with you guys. I'm gonna raid in Curry today because it's her birthday and she's running a subathon. So I'll send you guys over. She's gonna have her thing. Last thing I had to share with you guys that made the entire experience so fucking good. That's all I got for you guys. If I still see you for the rest of the year, I'll see ya, and I'll try as often as I can, but I'm gonna go on full vacation mode, okay? That's all I got. Take it easy, take care, have a nice day. She's gonna provide variety for the rest of the day. I hope you guys have a good time there, and in case I don't see you tomorrow, have a great weekend, guys. See ya.